welcome back to the Smokin' Studios here at the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show, back for another live Thursday night show. And let me tell you, this is going to be a bold and beautiful show with somebody else that has hair. It's going to be great. All right, this is a show that I've been waiting for a long time. The the this crew was so kind in the beginning, not so much now, but in the beginning they were. And so I absolutely love these guys, Ronnie and Kyle. Ronnie's somebody that I've definitely taken a liking to, and we've become very, very good friends, I like to think. And I'm very, very happy to have them on. But before I bring on the bald and beautiful show tonight, sorry, Kyle. He doesn't want to admit he's losing it, but Ronnie said he is. So I'm gonna listen to Ronnie. He's the older, more wise one. But anyways, huge shout out to all the show sponsors that remotely make this show possible every Thursday night for you all. BAMF Cigars, ROCF Cigars, Kristoff Cigars, Sagrado Cigars. We've got Micallef Cigars, pro family business, pro growth, and pro cigar rights. We've got Big Sky Cigars, Cornell and Diehl pipe tobacco, and La Aurora Cigars with West Tampa tobacco as well. Thank you so much, Steve Saka from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust, for also sponsoring the show. And he sponsors the segment that we do, the What Are You Smoking Tonight segment, which we will do. And tonight's going to be weird because the What Are You Smoking Tonight's going to be kind of a throw up in the air because this is not a brand. We all get to kind of choose our own. So it'll be really interesting to see what everyone chooses. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. Quick update, we still do have some tickets available. There's not a lot of tickets left, but if you are going to be in the Colorado area on July 26th, from 6 to 10 p.m., please jump over to eventbrite.com. You could scan that QR code right there in the bottom corner. It'll probably take you right to Eventbrite's website where you can buy a ticket for $150. This benefit will go to benefit Shadow Warriors project done by Mark Osgeist, which is the guy in the middle in the blue shirt, surrounded by the two bearded ugly guys, one of those being me. We're going to have appetizers, open bar, coffee, soft drinks, commemorative cigars, or complimentary cigars. So last year we gave away 9 cigars. We had 2 brand new releases. First, after PCA at our show was the first time you'd be able to get those outside of the PCA market or outside of the PCA convention, and they were a massive success. One of those was the West Tampa Red and the Sagrado Lilith. So we've got a lot of great things. Last year we gave out 9 cigars. It's a minimum of 5. We're looking to hopefully give a lot more. Last year we had close to 25 sponsors. This year we're doing a lot bigger venue. It's going to be at a vineyard called Salton Acres, and it's going to be in full bloom. I am looking so forward to this event. And I can't thank everybody enough that has been part of this event. It's not because of me it's successful. It's not because of my partner Tony that it's successful. It's literally successful only because the community found value in the event and decided to support that event at the same time. So because of that, I thank you all that do support it, and to all the sponsors that do support that event as well. It's really been surreal to be part of something bigger than myself. We were able to raise $30K last year to buy a dog for a wounded warrior. This year, the dog's going to be presented to the wounded warrior at the event. So it's just going to be a great event. So please, everybody, if you're watching and going to be in the Colorado area, or if you're a manufacturer watching the show and you'd like to be part of it, please reach out. Would love to have you be part of the community we have here in the Colorados and the Rockies and support this absolutely great event. So, well, I tell you what, enough of me talking. Nobody really cares to listen to me, and I firmly believe that nobody watches the show because I'm talking. They watch the show for the guests. So let's go ahead and bring out the guests of tonight's show. We have Kyle and Ronnie. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, what's up? Glad to be back on. And well,
Hello, everybody. Yes, thank you very much for having us. It's an honor to be on the show once again, Ryan. We got some of the people. Look at how many we got. Even Chantel is sending you, Ryan. I mean, we got everybody on there, man.
Absolutely. This is great. This is great. And there's no reason for introductions, but just in case you guys don't know the two beautiful men here on the show tonight, they're both
beautiful.
from the Great Cigar and well, I'm sorry, I saw two of Ronnie.
Doesn't get any better. You know, if you have a couple more drinks, you get three of me. Holy
That's
cow.
a nightmare in the making right there.
Oh,
Let me tell you.
You know, you're thinking a Rocky Horror Show? It's going to be the Ronnie Horror Show. If you had
it's a horror show, all right.
Well, I am so happy to have both you guys on. You know, Ronnie, it's been a long time coming for me to have you on, to have the team on from the Great Cigar and Pipe Show.
Two of us. We're missing the other. We're missing two of the chooches. You know, what can I tell you?
That's fine. They're out gallivanting
they don't count
somewhere, or they're stuck at home.
Bob doesn't do Thursdays.
No, they're doing something at Corona down in Lake Mary tonight, so that's why they're a little busy.
That's right.
You know,
they're all in Florida, and Ronnie's still up in Illinois.
Unfortunately, don't rub it in. Listen, you know, don't rub it in. You know, I'm going to do a little of this on your head. Steve, don't mess me up, all right?
All I got to say is I reached 90 degrees today. It was beautiful out here.
Hey,
you know what? I reached 71 today. That's it. I'm happy. I went out with no jacket. I'm happy.
I tell you what, I'm from the south suburbs of Chicago, Evergreen Park. And
I know that area well.
So yeah, I mean, it's my stomping grounds: Orland, Tinley, Palos, Blue Island.
Yeah.
We used to go down to Ford City Mall every now and then.
Hell yeah, my aunt used to live off of 95th there. So
yeah, we only went to Ford City when no other place had what we wanted. And you pretty much had to go there fully loaded, locked and loaded, ready to go. It was the
still
first.
Do that now? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but
you have to lock and load.
Dude, I was like 7 years old. Ford City Mall.
Then?
Oh yeah,
dude.
It was bad.
Where Ford City is. Ford City Mall was the first mall that I ever went into that had metal detectors for gun detectors.
And how old are you?
I'm 39. I just turned 39.
Ford City was you avoided Ford City at all costs,
and I was not allowed to go there. My parents forbade it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I tell you this area. Evergreen Park had one of my favorite bakeries. What the hell was that called? I think it was Mishka's. Or Misha's.
I never went to any of the bakeries.
Oh man,
I'm Greek, so we always went to Greektown in Chicago first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there used to be a really, really nice bakery there, and I don't know if it's still there or not, but man, some of the cookies and cakes that came out of the bakery, so delicious.
Well, Chicago's does have really good food.
Yeah.
And that's really the only thing I miss about Chicago. I'll be honest with you. I go there and I go downtown and I just can't do the concrete jungle anymore.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Horrible. Like where I live at 7,500 feet. I live in a mountain cul-de-sac. If you're from Illinois, you know what a cul-de-sac is.
Yep.
Because they're everywhere in the Chicagoland area. I actually have run into people that don't know what a cul-de-sac is.
Yeah, the cul-de-sac was right outside the French room.
Hey, by the way, it's called Wolf's Baking, right? From Kimberly Miller.
Wolf's Baking. There you go.
There you go. Okay, thanks, Kimberly. You know, refresh this young mind over there. You know, these two guys in their 30s and 40s. Huh?
That's my mom.
Hello, Mrs. Miller.
Naples, too. Naples was a good one, too. I see there. Kimberly also said Naples. Naples was a really good bakery, too.
Yeah, my mom was actually, so where we lived in Evergreen, there was all of us but one aunt within a stone's throw of everything.
Okay.
Of each other. So we were that typical Chicago living on top of each other. The drop-ins were often. Grandma and grandpa going for a walk, and they're going to hit all the kids.
That's the same way back when I grew up in New York City. Same thing. Everybody knew each other. We were in every household on the street. If you messed up in someone else's house, you knew that parent was going to tell your parent, and you were scared straight not to do anything messed up because you're going to get the bastonata in Italian, they say.
So how did you make it through? Because obviously it didn't scare you straight.
I lost hair. I lost my hair. I was stressed out. Are you kidding me?
He was so scared it just left.
Right there. I would sneeze and the hair would come off. Forget about it.
You still do that.
I do. I sneeze a lot. I mean, there's nothing left. This is all I got to show for, man. I mean, come on. A little bit of eyebrows left and not much there either.
Yeah, but that's the nose hair when he sneezes. When you hit Ronnie's age, it turns into hyperdrive.
Hey, it's gray up there if you want to look up too. Okay.
Well, it's just like it's a migratory thing. The older you get, the hair just starts migrating south.
Yeah, so it goes to the ears, the nose.
Everything migrates south, right? Muscle, everything, right?
And it turns gray down here too, and it keeps going. Just everywhere.
Yeah, I remember at 18, I stood up. I had more up here and up here than I did down here. All of a sudden, I woke up one day. It was just like my body went. It's like gravity caught up with me. It's a bitch.
Oh, yeah. And wait, you're 39. Just wait another 30 years. You're going to see gravity. Matter of fact, you're going to have sounds coming out of your body that you never know they existed.
Oh, my gosh. Don't even tell me. So, okay, I know why people have kids in their 20s. All right. I wake up every morning and I feel like the ground is cracking. It's every joint in my body. The second I get out of bed now, it's like,
I tell you this: if I wake up and I don't crack, that's when I get scared.
Yeah, because you should be 6 feet under it when that happens.
But yeah, I mean, like my back hurts now. Stuff that like you do as a kid, and you're like, oh man. Well, I think I'm going to regret that one day. Yeah, those are all coming back now. All the shit that I did to my body and all the stupid stuff. Like,
so I got a golf course right out my back here, as you can see.
You see the alligator.
And I'll go out there and golf, and then the next day I'm like, what the hell did I just do? My back is hurting. My arms are hurting.
I bet you didn't stretch.
Well, I never stretch.
Well, there's your problem. You have to become stretch Armstrong before you do anything. I mean, stretch even before you go to bed. I mean, that's just the key.
I stretch during.
I don't listen to myself, but I tell everybody else to stretch.
Oh, I can tell you this. Like last night, I went to bed, woke up, and I had a kink in my neck. I can't turn this way too much, but hey, there it is. This is product
turn it
of getting
the other way.
old.
Don't worry, it works.
I tell you, it's just my daughter's 3. She wants to be held all the time, and I love holding her. But I'm like, let me sit down and hold you. Like,
oh, no.
This is much easier.
Oh, I can tell you, big man, enjoy every moment with her. Before you know it, you're going to be an old fart like me, and then you're watching your kids having kids, and time flies.
Yeah, but you're loving being a grandfather. You're loving it.
I absolutely. I didn't say I didn't love it. I'm just saying I miss the growing up of my 3 own kids because Al's out there working 2-3 jobs and making a living in shithole New Jersey, and it was probably a little less cheaper than living in New York. So I figured go to Jersey and have kids, and I end up here in Chicago.
I tell you what, my wife and I came out to Breckenridge, and a year later we were here, and I will never. We came out here. I've been in sales 20 years, and I got tired of my job at the radio doing marketing and advertising for the radio. Really not a very glamorous job. If anyone's ever done it, like it really isn't. There's like 10 people that actually buy the advertising on the
One of my jobs, Ryan. One of my jobs.
I know, and it is tough, man, because it is hard. Well, it just kind of just wore me out, and I remember looking at my wife and going, I want to go to Colorado. And she's like in the back of her mind, like, I'm going to tell him yes, and it's going to be 6, 7, 8 months. So we're going to have plenty of time to think this over. And
what made you go that route? I mean,
I had to get out of Illinois.
I get it, but why Colorado? Is that because of Colorado Rocky High type? John Denver brought you there? I mean, I'm just asking you.
No,
what ruling did you get?
Well,
Cheech and Chong was California, but I didn't.
Cheech and Chong could be Colorado too now.
Well, the way I saw, yes, there's a lot of Cheech and Chong in Colorado.
There's tons of Chong. We have extra Chong.
Yeah, that haze that happens in Colorado, that's not from like clouds or anything. That's just from the weed.
Yeah, so
just when you're crossing over the border in your car with the windows open, you knew you were in Colorado.
Oh, well, you always know when spring break is in the mountains when they're skiing, because about 2 days after that, a big swell of smoke comes over the mountains, straight down into Denver, and just blankets the whole front range.
Everybody's getting contact high.
Always. But no, I came out to Colorado. My wife and I just fell in love. Again, I grew up as a flatlander. The highest I've ever been was Lake Michigan, which is
Wilmot when you went skiing, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the highest point in Illinois when I was growing up is the landfill going down 39. It was 800. It was 850 feet above sea level or something like that at the highest peak. It's a lot of shit. And
it was a lot of shit in that landfill. I know. You speak the truth. A lot of dead bodies too, and skeletons by now.
Hey, we don't talk about that. You can't talk about
that wasn't my family. It was somebody else's family. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Bachelor's Grove. We used to go out there in Chicago and stuff like that. But no, we moved out to Colorado just because we were bored in Illinois. I got bored of the corn. I wanted something different. I don't like the humidity. I'm a fat guy, not really, but I mean, I'm kind of like a suckling pig, right? I'm not like a full on, but I've got a little bit extra down.
Would you call yourself like the Michelin Man?
He's husky.
I would say Michelin Man light.
Okay,
like a size under Michelin.
Pillsbury Doughboy. Let's go with that.
We could go there. I do make the sound. But no, I wanted to go somewhere.
Make some croissant rolls, man.
I wanted to go somewhere that was cool and cool weather, no humidity, and mountains. And when we went to Breckenridge, we fell in love with it. Okay, and so within 3 weeks, I had a job.
Wow,
nice.
I looked at my wife and said, "They want me out there in 6 weeks. Yes or no?" And she goes, "Go for it." So we did it. So we had no furniture.
Is she happy?
She is. She is.
Okay, that's good. Hey, can I do a shout out?
Go ahead.
The one, the only, Ishmael BAMF cigar owner himself is on. What's up, Ish?
What's happening, Ish?
I love that guy. Plus, Chantel is on. She's still on. She's laughing. She's cutting jokes on us. Yeah, she says when she was had a little child, she was vacuuming with her kid on the hip. Yeah, a lot of moms did that back then. Today, forget about it. The kid's sitting in front of TV watching SpongeBob SquarePants and whatever.
No, it's not SpongeBob today. It's Baby Shark.
What is it?
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark.
I thought it was Paw Patrol.
That's it. Yeah, Paw Patrol is what that's right. It is. That's why I have my kids watch Paw Patrol. I tell you. How's it going, Ish? Yes, it's going.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Ish. How you doing, brother? Yeah, Ish was just on, but Ish is actually going to be on maybe next month with Roddy.
Oh, there you go.
Exclusive.
But we're not gonna tease that yet. But just kind of get a little bit. But that's all you get out of me. So
Enid from Ancestry. How are you? She's on too. We get a lot
cigars.
of cigar people jumping on, right?
Absolutely.
Hit the share button, everybody. Hit the share button. Let's get this show out there.
Kyle, I feel like it's our show because it's all the same people that show up on our show.
I know, isn't it great? It's new viewership for me, kind of.
It's all good, Ryan's my little grasshopper. I feel. Right?
So, speaking
is that what we're calling it these days?
You know what? I was totally going to go somewhere else, but I think my mom's still watching the show, so I'm just going to leave it alone.
Mrs. Miller, you brought up a respectable son. I like this guy. Don't worry.
Mom, earmuffs.
Does she watch every week? That's dangerous.
She watches for like the first 5 minutes or so, or until the first cuss word comes out, and then she's
okay. Mrs. Miller, let us know that you're on. If you're not on, then we know we can swear.
So what I would like to kind of dive into is a little bit about both you guys' background. I don't know how much you've gotten into this on the show, but it's actually really kind of an interesting setup and kind of how all you goofballs came together to create a show. So because I know Kyle's memory is better, we'll start with Kyle.
Wow. Monsieur, check, please.
But before we do, we've got to do our only segment of the night, which is the What Are You Smoking Tonight segment.
Already?
So, absolutely.
Already.
So this is
sponsored. It's a 2-hour show. I've been on 22 minutes. Where we going?
Yeah, well hey,
I relax. Tell Sock to relax. We can do it.
So I'm cut off here at the bottom, and that's totally fine.
I don't see your beard. Go lower. There you go. Just a stash, man.
It's the talking heads.
Now the talking heads. Hey, let's do that together, Ryan. How you think? Kyle, how's it look? Are we good?
Oh, it's perfect. Perfect.
Looks like a couple of tips.
Oh, imagine if we put it together. Oh, what
Anyone got a marker I can draw a quick line? No.
I tell you, I always wanted to, if I wasn't going to get a tattoo, I was just going to get a little slit right on the top, you know?
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Oh God.
You really are a Spaceball.
Richard Beard wants to keep it PG. All right. I don't think this, Ryan said we can let loose on his show, so we're letting loose.
Let loose. That's fine. So, what are we smoking tonight? I'll go last. Let's start with Ronnie.
Oh, okay. Because I knew this was a nice, big, fat, happy show, I decided to get a Project 40 Maduro, and you can see the size of that baby. This is a nice, big size gauge because Rocky Mountain's a big size guy. It's a good show. I'm happy with it. And that should last me 2 hours.
There you go. There you go. And then tonight, I got the Chief Proby, nice Connecticut here, from our friends Ken Dorbrecker. Check him out, and he's from New York. He's an actual firefighter making these cigars. So if you don't have them, get them. These are awesome smokes.
Support the firefighters, support our military, support our first responders. And what do you got, big man? What's coming up?
Oh, the
Stillwell holiday.
Bayou.
The Bayou. Nice.
The Bayou. I actually
right.
like the Bayou. I'm disappointed that the Bayou's going away.
Yeah,
I can't believe it, man.
You know that means, Ryan, you should have bought more boxes because then you could have kept it in business. But, since you didn't buy that many boxes.
Hey, single family income.
I got Teresa with me. How long do you think a cigar lasts in this house?
I'm talking to Ryan. He should have bought more boxes.
Oh, right.
I got about 900 cigars next year. I buy everything I could buy, but I can't keep all the brands going.
Sure
we
you
only
can
do so much. So thank you so much to Steve Saga sponsoring the What Are You Smoking Tonight segment. But the reality of it is I am actually disappointed that the Bayou's going away.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we are.
And I think if we can, I wanted to, in representation of the Great Cigar and Pipe Show, to smoke a great cigar pipe or a great pipe cigar. As the best of both worlds.
Hell yeah.
It is.
So I know you guys obviously get into the cigar side and the pipe side, but let's get into how the show actually was developed.
Kind of like we talked about it. How did it start? I've been doing radio now to 17 years, and we had a break 6 years ago from one station. Half of the station just did not like the direction that the owner was going in, and he just wasn't listening to our side. It was his way or the highway, and we just wasn't comfortable. So a couple of guys became ownerships, and they started a brand new local radio station here. It's an FM station, and we were looking for programming, and I was the program director at the time. And I said to my brother Bob, who lived 25 feet across a grass patch here from me, I said, why don't we do something hanging out? I mean, Bob and I have been smoking cigars, and I know his first pipe was 1967. My first pipe was the summer of 1973. And we smoke, and it was a great way for us to get out and hang out. And we brought in one of our brothers, George Geese, for a while at the radio station, and he had to bail out, and Kyle was part of our group, so we brought Kyle in, and we're going on 6 years now. We did 6 months, 3 months on the radio. We became the #1 radio station.
It was a year and a half that we're on radio, Ronnie.
Was it that long? A year and a half? I'm old.
So you guys actually had at one time a live radio spot.
Correct. Live radio spot on
not
an
a
FM
podcast,
station.
but like
No.
like Cigar.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, no.
A regular radio station. It was 101.5 FM. And,
low power though. It only had
power?
a very
what's that? 101.5
no.
FM.
So it was out of
Burlington, Wisconsin.
Burlington, Wisconsin. Yeah. So, but it was a low power bandwidth. So it only had a range of maybe 10 miles or so.
A little bit more than that. But again, we had to still follow FCC ruling. And obviously what we say here on the podcast, we could never get away with saying it on the radio. And obviously FCC came down because somebody complained. And they hey, listen, would you mind starting the first podcast for us? We love your show. We were #1. We had the highest rating at the time. And said, yeah. Kyle was the geek at the time to put us together with the podcast. He knows the system well. And year and a half, I thought it was less, but a year and a half later, we started the podcast show, and here we are in over 75 countries around the world, and we're having a lot of fun each and every single week. And as mentioned earlier, we went. Cousin Frank got on about 4 years ago, 2019.
No, well, Frank came on as a correspondent. So,
yeah.
I mean.
He was traveling, so he was coming on. He went to Colorado, he went to Texas. He was all over the place.
Yeah, so.
And then my cousin finally came on board full time.
That's how that started out, too. But, yeah, it was about 2 or 3 months in. That's when I about joined the show. And then we brought Frank on, and then we did that until we were kicked off the FM station, and then got the podcast going with all that. And then basically we did almost a year on the radio station's podcast studio. And then basically we just saw the direction that we could go in, and then we started getting some sponsors going. And we basically decided it was time for us to part ways from the FM station. There was no ill will, no anything. We were still really good friends. Us. Yeah, it was just the direction that we wanted to go in. We just knew that it was time to leave the nest. So we broke our wings out. We flew on our own, and it's been surreal just to know that, like, how big our show has gotten in like such a short time. I mean, if you look at shows out there, I mean, for us, basically 4 years in the podcast side, it's still a very young show, and we're still got plenty of stuff going, and we're still ready to keep going for the foreseeable future. So there's
a lot of shows that came and went, especially during COVID. And, obviously we keep track of all of that, Ryan. And there's not many left to say besides you and us. And, we have a couple of standards, but a lot of people just couldn't crack it. And especially week after week after week. And, and having our sponsors, and you see how many we have, 20 or something, they believe in us. And it's very easy for me to pick up the phone or reach out to somebody and they want to be on the show. I mean, this is the first year I'm holding back on bookings, but usually I could book a full year by January. I could have a full year blanketed up to the following year. And right now we're booked to September, only because what I've learned is that during the course of the year, we're meeting so many people, and they want to get on. And we have a show for every sponsor. When we brought Joey G on, we are now doing our original sponsors, and Joey G with the Whiskey Network. We're doing pairings now. So the pairing part is a big part, because we give that bottle away with that cigar. Just like the other Tuesday night. Well, last night we had Chantel on, and we gave Tuesday night. Sorry, time's flying here, man.
His memory sucks. Ronnie can't remember shit.
Wow, keep hitting me down below the belt there, Kyle. Don't worry, I'll bend over and give you one. So, we had her on the Tuesday night. We had a fantastic pairing, and it was absolutely fantastic with her cigar. And so we gave that bottle and her cigar away, and she was unbelievably nice that she gave away also extra. She gave away a 6-pack cigars. She gave away ashtrays. She got a cigar holder, a beautiful hat. So our guests see all that and everything. So we never know. We need to always save space for somebody that comes across during the year that I like to book. But we can book. I can book 2 years with no problem, but a little bit at a time. And more sponsors are coming on. As you've seen the show, Ryan, we're getting new sponsorship all the time. Frank creates incredible commercials, 30-second commercials and spots, and it's involved. And we know some of the original guys who were with us, like Luciano from the beginning. I love the guy. He's seen the growth, and they've been with us so long that they've seen it themselves. And I think we're doing something for the industry, and we're presenting new companies and people to our audience. And we got a bunch of followers every week that are joining us, like we're a church, and I feel great about it. I love these guys. Love you out there, guys.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. I was never expecting this to be episode 120. I never expected to get to episode 5. Yeah. And I'm not even because first off, one of the things that Ronnie told me in the beginning, he goes, the reason why people don't do this long is because it's a lot of work. Boy, it is a ton of work. I don't think people realize, now I could come in and flip the lights on, turn everything on, and it's there. But man, in the beginning, when you're laying out that groundwork, it is a lot of trial and error. I mean, I started the show with an iPad and a fire pit to stay warm, But yeah, over the last 3 years now, it's easy at this point. I used to call in the beginning, and they're like, "Who the hell are you?" Oh, right. You're another podcast. So, all right, I guess now I'm calling them. And they're like, "We were wondering when you were going to finally call us."
Absolutely, absolutely.
I tell you what, I know when I was actually getting traction when I met Bobby Newman for the first time, and he looked at me and goes, "Rocky Mountain Cigar Show, Ryan, right?" And I'm like, "You got to be freaking kidding me! You got to be kidding me! Are you serious?" That to me was like, all right, now this is actually kind of taking on its
coming off,
legs.
Yeah. I mean, I was absolutely flabbergasted. It was a couple of weeks ago, or when me, Frank, and Bob went to the Big Smoke here in Tampa at Hard Rock. And before we went there, we went to our Corona Lounge, one of our big sponsors and stuff. And we're hanging out there. We're doing little Instagram lives and stuff like that. And in comes Bobby Newman, and he was in there talking with her, and then he sees us. He's dead in the middle of talking to someone. He sees someone. He goes, "Hold on a second," and he books it right for us. And he comes. He's like, "Oh, I wanted to make sure I saw you guys," and shaking our hands. And he loves our new apparel because we're sporting the JC Newman white bettas here. So he's like, "Oh, these things look great." He's like, "I love it." And I was like, "Yeah, Sydney hooked us up. It's really nice." And but it was surreal that he's in the middle of a conversation and he stops dead in the middle and comes right for us. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome."
It was totally respect.
It really, this is a community. So, and again, my show was only in existence for a few weeks, maybe a couple months, when Ronnie had reached out and gave me kind words and booked me for a show 9 months later. And because I remember going like, I'm gonna be at a show, and he's like, he goes, how's November sound? And I'm like, November. I'm thinking to myself, I looked at my wife and I go, I might not even be around in November. like, he's got a lot of confidence. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And
we
then
had some good talks, man. We certainly did.
we still do.
Congratulations, man. Proud of you, brother. Proud of you.
Thank you, man. But this community is unlike anything else. I don't know of another community where other podcasters reach out and offer advice. Again,
right.
I don't. Yeah. It's like Coke and Pepsi having podcasts and one of them giving the other advice.
Yeah.
On how to be better and compete more. It's not like we're competitors. Honestly,
by no means, we're not. We're
hey,
we're
you leave Tuesday nights alone, Ryan.
So Ronnie and I actually talked about that.
We talked about it. Don't be fucking in my Tuesdays.
Because I actually would post cigar reviews on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Ronnie said you have to be static. You have to have a consistent posting time. You have to have a consistent show time. So that way people can build their week around that show consistently at a time.
You look at HBO and how they did it. Like every Sunday night at 9 p.m.
Sopranos
would hit on there. That theme music would come on, and you would hear the music in a different room, and then boom, you're on the couch and you're glued to that couch for the next hour. I mean, that's what you got to do. That's what you want to be.
That was like the Mr. Softy good humor man coming down. You knew that 9 o'clock was happening. Instead of running outside, everybody, I got to go. If you were in the park, got to go. What? No, got to go. It was just run to HBO Sopranos. And you got to get the theme in.
I would remember being at friends' houses, and I would ask them, like, hey, do you got HBO? And they'd be like, no. And I'm like, all right, I got to leave at 8. So I'll
It was that strong. But yeah, consistency makes it. And, I have to admit, I've talked to a couple other people. I'm saying, listen, we're in it together, but why are we stealing each other's listeners? Why put 2 shows back to back to back? People are not going to listen. One of us are going to lose. Why should we both lose? I've been here first. I don't mean to be, that way, but find another night or another hour and build it. And a few have, believe it or not, and I'm glad they listened. And I wasn't trying to be rude by no means. I'm just saying, just be respectful. You come in on afterwards. Wait, you'll understand what I mean when it takes to build a show. And
don't let that.
It's a lot.
Don't let that bald, beautiful face fool you. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. He showed up at my door with a club. He showed up at my door with the Woody.
I show up at anyone's door with a Woody. Don't worry about that.
We're gonna go take a boat ride.
It's respect.
That's the reality of it is. And then after we actually spoke, I went and looked at the week. You had Cigar Prop Mondays, like the big weekly shows. Outside of the weekends, you had Cigar Prop Mondays, you guys Tuesdays, Dojo Wednesday, nothing really on Thursday, and then Dojo Friday. So I was like, fuck it, I'll take Thursday.
There you go.
And then Ronnie started to pay me not to be on Tuesday nights. And
that's all right. No, I didn't pay you. I just said, don't worry about the stick. I got the Woody won't come your way. Plus, I couldn't find a horse big enough to put next to your bed.
I was about to say, I know Ronnie doesn't have enough money to pad those envelopes enough to tell you that.
You're right. I wouldn't waste the money. It's too expensive. There's a quicker way to make people disappear. I heard it's $50 these days, even high rollers.
Hey, we're from Chicago. We'll figure it out.
That's all right. New York City. Well, I already figured it out. It's good.
Hey,
it worked.
I just brought the Chicago way. How do you think we got so many viewers? They're all my dead relatives watching us. Nobody knows it.
Well, it would have been the New York way, but it is what it is. We have other connections.
Hey, guess what? Go figure. Ish is about to open a bottle of wine.
Hey,
on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Yeah, that's a good. But Ish, I got a bone to pick with you. Stop going on Instagram with you guys at the same time we have the show. Change it. I'm watching the show. No, it's on Instagram. I got, BAMF is on. What is he doing? Stop with the Instagram in my time. Come on.
Why are you watching your phone so heavily during our show? Huh?
Because I got a lot of action going on. I got a phone here. I got the other phone here. I'm looking at the one under YouTube. We got Josh.
Right now, it just looks like you're looking at your own Johnson.
Well, I thought I showed you earlier what it was like.
Oh, is that it? You can't even see it.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll give you a microphone. Oh, you wise guy. Oh, Eden, really, stop giving compliments to Kyle, all right? Don't let it go that way. You're gonna make his head even bigger. Don't worry.
My head can't get any bigger.
I tell you, it really is throwing me off. Does this not? Does Ronnie not have a Rodney Dangerfield style delivery? Like I can't be the only one like thinking that, right? Like I feel like I'm about to be going to back to school.
But Ronnie's delivery doesn't always work either, so he messes it up sometimes.
Well, it's called Ronnieism instead of Rodneyism. What can I tell you? I get no respect. I really don't. I really get no respect.
No, seriously. I just want you to go.
I miss you too, Enid. But not a hell and chance of my moving back to Chicago.
No, I don't.
We don't want you here. We don't want your kind here. You stay down there. You're not bald yet. When you're bald, you can come back and visit.
No, when I'm bald, I'll be too set in my ways. I ain't moving to nowhere.
You fixed the Rodriguez, but blank the other. Yep, I'm opening one. Ish has always got something great to say. What a piss he is. That's good. All right. Let's reel us back in, Ryan. Reel us back in.
About me? I got somebody. I gotta fix that. I didn't even notice that. Wow. It doesn't matter.
Van.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Olivivan cigar. It's the new cigar coming out in 2025.
I had my buddy do that. I can't.
Well, don't pay him. Take your money back.
Oh no, he doesn't. He didn't charge me. That's fine.
Well, see, you get what you pay for.
Well, it took you 3 years or 4 years to finally realize.
No, this is new. This is
new. Okay.
Yeah, this is within the last about month or so.
Ish, we took care of the situation. You see that? I didn't even have to bring a horse's head to his bed. Nobody will ever notice. Well, we did. Man. There you go.
There you go. It's all I can think of. Every time I hear this man's voice, I love it. There you go, Josh.
Who's that?
Talking about Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, I like this guy. He's pretty good. He's good. I like Josh. I'll give you my number. Let's talk about it.
Ronnie's got a big enough head as it is.
So I am really curious. You guys went to PCA. You guys go to all the fun shows. I don't get invited by you guys to go.
You don't have to invite. Spend your money from your sponsors and go.
Wait, you think they're flying us first class on our own? No.
Money. No, but in all seriousness, you guys went to TPE, right? Or just PCA?
No, we didn't go to TPE. We
not TPE.
Yeah, we didn't go.
This year we took the year off from going to TPE and PCA this year. So
we're not Vegas guys. To be honest with you, we are really just are not Vegas people. It just
it's
again
expensive.
we're gonna say it's expensive. It's a ripoff, and you know what?
Every
from
time
the
we
show
went
earlier, we were getting the vibes. I was talking to a lot of people. They were like forcefully going. They didn't really want to go. And from what we're hearing, it was a pretty bad show. It's one of their worst. And I'm glad they're getting out of Vegas. I'm not too happy about going to New Orleans because originally their convention, the mayor down there hates tobacco, and it was no smoking in the convention hall. They would have to go and get a tent, and somehow, some way. Things change. So I guess a lot of pesos went that guy's way and allowed it to happen.
There's only one city and one place that should have the PCA, and that's here in Tampa. We're Cigar City.
I don't disagree with you. That makes no sense. Why
it should be in Florida.
Yeah.
It makes no sense why it wouldn't be in Florida. Literally, most, if not all, of the history of cigars come out of Florida.
Absolutely. So think about it. There's no reason why they can't do Tampa. They can't do Orlando. They can't do Miami.
Yeah.
Florida is the hub. Everything is basically out of Florida or nearby. Why the hell?
The reason why I heard they can't do all the other places is because there's only a couple of convention centers that will actually be big enough and that let you smoke.
You know what? I think that's a crock of crap. All right. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
an excuse. I don't believe so.
So right here in Tampa,
I don't think they got paid enough money to get that.
They have the Florida State Fairgrounds right here in Tampa. So I mean, talk about big enough space. I mean, you could fit 4 PCAs within the fairgrounds here, and I think
West Palm Beach, the same thing.
That's where the Great Smoke is. That's where the Great Smoke is.
Yeah.
So if he can do it there, why can't PCA do it? Because he didn't get paid, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where it is. I don't know. I'm glad they went to New Orleans just to get out of Vegas. I think.
But I heard they're going back to Vegas.
I didn't hear that. They're 2 years right now in New Orleans.
They were doing there was the place that they were looking at in Vegas or something like that's getting work done or something, and they can't have it there. Unless I'm just completely way off, but I thought somebody told me that they.
I know. It 2025 and 26 is in New Orleans, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard rumor mills that Drew Newman and Carlito Fuente were posing to bring Tampa into the spotlight. So, because like if you watch Drew Newman and everything, he is full on to bring Cigar City back.
There should be a PCA event in Tampa with a pre-event or post-event party in Ybor. It doesn't make sense. It's literally the cigar
capital. It's where the action should be, Ryan. It's where it should be.
It's like if you want to go get shot in the city, you go to Chicago because it's going to happen. It's the capital for that.
Well, let me tell you, bringing up Chicago, I just finished the Chicago International Pipe Show that the show's been going 29 years.
That's what I thought.
Right across the street from us is the Stevens Center. And the Stevens Center Convention Hall is the actually only convention hall left in this entire state that if you take the entire hall, you can smoke inside. So, you know what? PCA did show up. I didn't mention that. I had a private talk with Scott Pierce and Joshua. And I think I kind of opened up their eyes because not for anything, Chicago is an amazing smoking town.
But the only problem with that is there's too much unionization in Chicago.
This union, look at Las Vegas. You can't even put an electric cord. You're going to get charged $50 to $500.
I know. I had somebody. I won't mention the brand, but I had somebody tell me they actually paid a storage place, like a lot of guys do.
Yes,
for their stuff to be kept
out
there.
Yes, they do.
But he did it dumb and built it really, really good and really durable. And they charged him by the pound to move it, and it was like $3,500 to move it across the floor. Like it was absolutely asinine when he told me the number, and I couldn't believe it. And he goes, yeah, they literally walked up to me and they said, "This will not leave without a union guy touching it." Because he goes, "I'll just do it myself." No. They're like, "This cannot enter the hotel by your hands."
Right.
And that's a crack. But yeah, even Ish said and Enid said that it was rumored to go back to Vegas in 2027.
Yeah,
that's the only way to stop that nonsense is if all the brands just say, "No, we're not going." Think about the crew and I have talked about this. Why would you want to have the show in Vegas with the gambling out galore, all the shows, everybody's going there to see everything. They're spending all their money on all the outside entertainment.
They don't even really like cigar smoking in Vegas either.
No, but they're talking about going there and they're pre-spending all their money, losing all their money. So when it comes time to deal with a brand owner to buy, they don't have the money. And they wasted how much time to travel to get there. The hotel rooms are so damn expensive. Eating is expensive. Drinking is expensive. And entertainment, because everybody's got to go for the entertainment. You're not there for that. You're there to buy tobacco-related items.
Correct.
Give those dealers who spent all that money, and you said $3,400 to move a piece of furniture, they need it. The brand owners need it. Those vendors need money. And you're giving these other people an opportunity to spend their money elsewhere. It's not fair. It's just not fair. How does the boutique cigar guy, the little guy, the big guys can ride, but the little guy, how do they make it? You're shutting them down.
So
it's not fair.
I'll be honest with you, Ronnie. This may get some stirs. No. From in general. I don't think conventions are ever made for the little guy. Conventions in Vegas are not. So Vegas, to me, when a convention is held versus like Chicago, okay, the Great Cigar Pipe Show in Chicago, the Chicago Pipe Show is what I meant.
Chicago International Pipe Show.
Yep. Like I was like, when did we start sponsoring a show? But I'm for it. Let's go.
that is a lot more, I feel, financially feasible by an astronomical amount. So when you go to a place like Vegas, as somebody that's been in the corporate world, that's been to conventions, that's done all of this, done the face-to-face, the shaking the hands, when you go to Vegas, that is you are telling the industry there is a minimum barrier of entry. Of money needed. It is not the shirt off your back. It is the house you own. So if you are small and can go to an event and the table's $200 because you can't afford it and they let you in, that's fine. But Vegas starting, you're at $2,000 for plane ticket, hotel.
Without the booth.
And that's like next to a homeless encampment, hotel room. Like that's not a nice hotel. And so I feel when conventions are hosted at super expensive places, one, it's ego driven. Look at us, we can be fancy. And two, we don't want just everybody to show up. It's going to cost you. If you could come and if you can afford to play in our playland, then you can show up. If you can't, we don't want you.
And I'm going to stop you right there, Ryan. That is the biggest, F you, you're number one to the little guys.
But I don't think that's ever been said, though. I don't think
but it's even
I'm going to tell you, in the future, it's going to be said because I know something that people don't know. Something's going to be changed for the little people.
I agree.
And you know me. I'm the little people type of guy. I'm not the favorite. I'm the underdog.
Well, Ronnie's not little at all, so...
Well, thank you, Kai. You've been watching me. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll tell my wife. So anyway, I'm just saying, I'm just for, I always for the little guy because, those big guys. And now,
then you even talk about some of the cigar lounges and stuff. They can't even afford to go to Vegas and do the buying because that's what PCA is supposed to be for the retailers. And then half the retailers can't afford to go, so they don't go.
And they're getting the same deal. First of all, the retailers now, or the vendors, or the big boys, already making their deals with the mom and pops and the brick and mortar shops before they even go to Vegas. Because when you had to get the deal back in the day at Vegas to get the deal.
Correct.
Now, they just it's a write-off for them, and they have these private big parties and snorting cocoa for asses and all that type of stuff.
Where was this at? How come I wasn't invited?
Because you don't do coke. So anyway, I'm just saying that the big boys have forgotten the little guys, but that's where their fathers and grandparents started from. So they were able to walk into the big show. But the little guys who are now working their regular job and have the passion for their own smoke, you got to give them a chance. And it's have little factories too who are helping 30, 40, 90 other little guys because they believe in them, because that's where they started from. The power and the ego hasn't gone to their heads, and they're fighting for the little man.
What I would like to see is tickets based on like what you could actually afford. Like, put a show together where it's like I show you my yearly sales and you come up with a number that allows me to get in. If I'm only selling 10,000, I shouldn't have to pay 8,000 to get into a convention.
Right. Agreed.
Like that's my problem with these conventions. And I know for a fact you go and have something like this in Tampa. I mean, Cigar Hound even brought up Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean,
Atlanta's a big shop.
Atlanta would be a great place.
Yes.
But you go and you put it in a place like Vegas that has a minimum entry $2,000 to $3,000 just to go. Plus, these shops have to pay for their managers to go. You go to a place like Florida. You can go to Florida for a week for $800-900, and a lot of these guys know friends down there that could probably stay at these places for free.
We can stay at Chantel's place. She just invited us.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks, Chantel. I'll be on the next plane over. Don't worry about it.
but
I live in Tampa. I'll be there.
It would allow, I feel, 90% of the cigar manufacturers that go to the conventions to already start in the black, because they wouldn't have to start in the red so deep and then literally have the show to dig themselves out of the show they paid for. It's not even a profit for most of them.
It's really, when you look at it, especially the little guys, if they, let's say, $5,000 for their booth, let's just use that number. They would have to make 3 times the amount, literally sell $15,000 worth, because one thing they've forgotten is that it's not just a booth. You got to get there. What about your inventory? You had already prepay for all those cigars and everything you brought, so that's got to be brought on board. You got to pay for the booth itself, then for what you already had prepaid itself, and then you're hoping for hopefully a profit margin to actually walk away with something. Most of the little guys don't do that. It's a loss for them. Okay, you do that on your accounting books, but they need that income to get more cigars. They got to put boots on the ground. They got to go shop to shop. They got to keep selling. It's just not an ad. Hey, I'm this and that. You're going to buy 20 boxes. You can't do that as a little guy. And the amount of legwork is a lot of time on the phone. They just don't get it. And brick and mortar shops, they're stuck with the big guy because the little guy is unknown. And a lot of people walk in, they're going to ask for a big guy. Now, there's the mistake the brick and mortar shop does. If you have someone behind, the cashier, somebody walks in, or you advertise, hey, this just came in this week. Yeah. I suggest you give that. Or people ask, what's new? Boom. What's new? This is what I got. New. Stop steering them away, because boutique cigars now are really, I would say, overall, okay, they're just as good as the big boys, because they have to do the research. They had to do the science to make it right. Each and every single stick's got to be consistent, because if they make a mistake, all of a sudden that buyer will never buy again because they had one bad mistake. But that buyer gets up telling 10 to 20 other people that tell another 10 and 20. That little guy cannot afford that mistake. And it hurts.
I agree with you. I actually equate boutique cigars and the legacies as college versus pro. There's a lot of people that only watch college because it has more heart. I feel that the big guys, not all of them by any means, but some of them, I feel, just put out something knowing that it'll get bought. And a lot of the heart is gone, or not gone, but they're not fully in it.
They simply expect it. They expect it because of what they did. The little guys are throwing. Yes, they do. They're throwing their heart and soul in each and every single.
And it tastes like it.
Yep.
I don't think that that they're truly totally different blends either. A lot of these big boys, I think, are just relabeling something that they had in their vault.
Who would?
And then putting it out.
Who would?
I don't think there's that true. Oh, we made a true new blend. I mean, there are places out there that are truly doing new blends, but I would bet on that there's a bunch of them out there that are just going back into their past blends and then just relabeling it and throwing it out there.
Yeah, and for those people, shame on them. like you're literally lying to your public, and if that ever comes out, I hope that's the death of your entire company. Because you're not an honest player in the game.
Yeah.
Change a leaf, like do something different if it's going to be different.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
So as what are your predictions? Who are some of these standout companies that you guys are watching this year that the viewers of the show maybe never heard about or should be watching?
Well, not only because he's on, and I'm not going to say that because he's on, not because he's a really good friend of mine. I really love this guy. But people, if you're watching, you can already see it on Ryan's show. You see it on our show. He's a great sponsor. But BAMF Cigars, they're he's up and coming. He's got so much going on.
Oh my
Stuff that
God.
is going to be announced that you
He's an
guys are going to
octopus.
blow you away. He is. He's got his arms all over the place. But the thing that I love him more about is that he is helping the little guys out there. He is always there helping and helping. He'll give everybody a chance. And you don't find that in many of the bigger boys. You know, they don't. They just, give me your money and run. Here we got a guy in Ishmael that he will help guide you with his knowledge and what he knows. That's a strong man for me. Another guy.
I would even go as far as to say Sanj Patel with his industry killer. I think it's a great smoke for, how cheap he's selling it for. It's ridiculous. It's a great value cigar and it smokes good. And I think that's a hell of a smoke that most people don't know about. And outside of the New Jersey,
Correct. But the industry knows him well and respects him well.
Yeah.
He's been around a long time and they know who he is for sure.
Yeah. He's very well connected with Cigar Aficionado. So, I mean, but I didn't know Sanj Patel's cigars until we had him on our show. I was like, this is freaking awesome.
Saw them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. There are a lot of newcomers out there. Honestly, there are a lot of people that are making names for themselves. Luciano Mariellis with Luciano Cigars. Dr. Oscar Rodriguez from GTO. He's got his own house. Luciano's got his own house. BAMF's got his own house. Those are the guys that are tailoring out for, like Eden is on the show. She's got a fabulous cigar.
Yeah, Ancestry Cigars.
Ancestry.
Yes. Yeah, I know Eden.
Great. There are people out there that are going to make it. Chantel, she's just changing houses, so we're waiting for her new exclusive to come out. But we had cigars Tuesday night. They were fantastic.
Belladama is a great cigar.
Those are fantastic, and her story around the cigars, the ode to her father, it's such a great story. She was a lot of fun to have on the show. Have you guys ever heard of Apostate?
Yes. Absolutely. They're out by you, aren't they?
Utah.
I
didn't know if you guys
Colorado, Utah. That's out there.
Ever had them on, but
we were at Apostate at BCA in Cedar Creek. We met them 4 years ago, Kyle? First Cedar Creek?
No, it was earlier than that. I think it was like 2 years ago we met Apostate.
Well, I'll tell you, if you guys like Candelas, they have one that rivals, if not is a little bit, in my opinion, higher than the Holy Lancer. Which is the creme de la creme of Lancero. It is a amazing not Lancero, Candela. Very, very good. They'd be fun to have on the show too. They've got a very interesting story as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hyman and Solomon, another great.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
Proud and Romy, what they do to give back is just unbelievable. I think they give back more than what they make. It's amazing the checks they cut out and give back, and they're just two beautiful, sincere people. I mean, Kyle and I we're close to him in with our Masonic ways, and but what he does is just amazing. They're out there. For the people, though, they need to find out who else is out there. Give every company a chance. And if you don't like it the first time, do me a favor. Try them again a second time, because it depends on the weather. Depends what you ate, what you're drinking, what mood you're in, what's your company. Believe it or not, there's so much to take when you do a cigar that could be nice, it could be bad. But never, always give a cigar a second chance.
And,
I'm a firm believer of 3 times.
Okay.
1 time to try it, 2 times to make sure that the first time was right. The third time confirms the first 2 times.
Okay. I'll go with that. Let's go with that.
That way you hit all the seasons. If the weather's different, what you ate, company,
Absolutely.
give a few weeks in apart. But I'm a firm believer, and I do that with food. I mean, if I showed you, if I stood up, you'd see I ate food about 6 times before I decide if it's good or not. So
I think
Ronnie
Dr.
just
Vinny
keeps
Boombox.
eating it. Ronnie doesn't stop, even if it's bad. He just keeps eating it.
Hey, I'm down weight, man. I'm down a lot of weight. Don't worry about it. I went to see Dr. Vinny Boombox. He told me what to do, so it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Please tell me your doctor's not really named Vinny Boombox.
Everybody's got a Dr. Vinny Boombox, huh? What can I tell you? Italian, you look for a guy like that. But you got to give these little guys a chance. That's all. I think that's all they're asking for. They're just asking to give them a chance, a legitimate chance.
Let me ask you both this then, because you guys go to a lot of retailers as well. You guys know a lot of retailers.
Mm-hmm.
What is your conversation with a retailer when he says, "I just don't want to take a chance"? What do you mean, Ronnie? How do I just? I'm literally hand to mouth with my business. I'm a young shop. I'm a family-owned shop. Like, I know what sells. How can you convince me to take a chance?
Wow, that is the $64,000 question,
right?
I mean,
Ryan,
it's
for the
hard.
little guy.
It is really hard
retail
because
space. That's the problem.
Unless you have guys coming into the shop and asking for that stick every time.
Yes.
I mean, it's always going to be hard to bust into that humidor because they have it set up. There's very little space as it is. Everything's full. That shelf is full. So, the best thing I can do for the shops is just listen to your customers. Like if you've got a person coming in and saying, I want, All Saints, and they're coming in weekly asking for it. Well, it's like, well, shoot, I might be missing a lot of sales here with this. I might as well maybe bring in a couple boxes and see how it does. Or a lot of even like with Karen Berger, we've gotten them into a couple of shops in Chicago just based on the humid packs. Like, hey, try the humid pack, see how that goes. If then usually that humid pack starts the snowball.
Man, those are selling like crazy.
Oh yeah, they are. They are.
Dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see walls of those now in shops.
Yeah.
Like they take little space, they don't require a humidor, and they're grab and go items.
And it gives you a great sampling of that company because it's not all just one cigar. It's a smattering of their different lines. So then you get to try a bunch of their different lines for very little money out of your pocket.
I agree with you. And I tell you, one of the greatest Humi bags to buy is the CRA Humi bag. You can get it right now over at spoken.com. Support the CRA. Buy that. It's exclusive cigars. Some of those are only made specifically for that. Only find in that event. I think it's 10 cigars, and I think it's around $130 or so. You can get them on.
Well, ours is $189 over here in Shitland.
Oh, so it's a lot more. So it's gone up.
You got the Chicago tax, so
that's true. I think they're
the governor dips in a little bit.
150. Yeah.
That's what it should be. In a normal state. Yeah. But not in this shit state. It's they rip you off. So those packs are great. We've got them. We try to support them as much as we possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious, what is y'all's personal smoking habits like? So what I mean by that is, how many cigars a day? Are you guys daily cigar smokers? I assume you are.
Yeah.
Both of you? Well, Kyle's now at 40.
No, I'm not.
Every day.
I don't smoke every day. I mean, usually Tuesday nights I'll have 1 to 2 cigars during our show there. The rest of the week I'm pretty busy with a lot of stuff that I have going on, so I don't always get to smoke through the week. But then the weekends come, and then I'm either hanging out at a lounge or something. And if I'm hanging out at a lounge, I'm usually smoking 3 to 4 cigars.
Oh, easy
minimum. So I'm not a daily smoker. But if I have the guys over and we're shooting pool on the pool table here, or if we're out on the golf course, I mean, we're smoking there. But as far as
you
the
smoke
daily,
in your house?
so I'm in my lanai, and so all this is screened here. So
okay.
and well, it's actually like a 4-season, because like these windows close and open. So I mean, I can close it off if it's getting rainy or not. I've actually got a air conditioned lanai here too. So
we all know Florida doesn't have 4 seasons. And if you think Florida has a winter, it's because you've never been in winter.
so unlike the rest of the country, our winter season is our dry season. So like we've actually gone almost 2 weeks here without rain now. We're in a drought season right now.
Wow.
So that's our seasons. There's the wet season and there's the dry season. So
and then there's the hot season and suction shirt season.
Well, and it, it's funny because like when you move down here, like it didn't take long for me to really acclimate, and over the winter it would get to be like a high of like 60 on some of these days, and I'm out in my winter jacket and I'm like, it's freaking cold.
Kyle shows up and it's like 70 degrees. He's got a little sweater on and like
he's become such a twit. He really has.
Ronnie shows up in shorts and like a see-through shirt, like
t-shirts and a short. I'm happy, man. Are you kidding me?
No. But I mean, there were some times over the winter where I mean it was like it got into like the 40s down here, and like it's cold.
40 is when I wake up. 40 is like summer here. And it's seriously like my boss. So I live at 7,500 feet. Denver's at obviously 5,280.
How's your breathing?
Oh, the altitude never hit. It hit my wife, but it never affected me at all.
Wow. Okay.
But you go down to Denver, they get like 3 inches of snow. We'll get 1.5, 2 feet. So I texted my boss and was like, I'm snowed in, man. I can't. He goes, get out of here, dude. Denver's only got a few inches. And I sent him a picture. The entire back of my bumper was halfway covered. And I was like, dude, I can't move my car. He goes, it's that much of a difference? I'm like, 2,000 feet, man. That's a big difference.
Well, but then you guys get the weird stuff too, because like you'll get that heavy snow, but then by dinner time, it's all melted away.
Oh, that's the beauty of everybody in Chicago is like, dude, I don't know how you survive Colorado winters. I'm like, it's a lot fucking easier than Illinois.
Yep.
There's no humidity. It doesn't cut through your clothes when it is windy. Your clothes actually block it. A windbreaker is a windbreaker out here. Versus feeling like a cheese grater for the wind to go through in Illinois. And yeah, you'll get a foot, 15, 16 inches, and the next day all the roads are completely dry. Like there's very little to no ice. Like it's a completely different, it's an enjoyable winter. Like it really is.
Sorry, Ryan. You can keep that.
I
hate snow. Do you get it? I think
first off, you are getting to the snowbird age, so you are going to be going down to Florida at some point.
Hey, I'm only 25. Leave me alone.
Well, then you've lived a hard life, my friend, and you were driven
drugs and rock and roll. What else can I tell you?
Ronnie, if you're 25, you were rode hard and hung up wet.
Imagine when I'm 85. I like riding my Harley. What can I tell you?
But no. So Ronnie, what is your daily? By the way, I don't know if they've ever gone through their collection of pipes, but Ronnie has sent me a picture, and he made me know that this is a small percentage that I was cleaning out for a cabinet. And I think there was probably 200 pipes on the floor, or 100 pipes on the floor that he showed me. It was a ton.
It's about 500 pipes now.
Yeah. So what is your daily smoking habit? How do you start your day? How do you?
No, it's mostly at night. When after dinner, my chill time, Teresa comes into the studio here, and we call it our smoke room. And it's a bedroom in the house. It's a 12 by 14 size room. And she's good for two. Small. It is. It's only 12 by 14.
It is small. with the amount of stuff Ronnie has.
With the amount of stuff I have in here, how many humidors I got set up. I got, curios full of pipes and.
You got to stand on the couch to shut the door.
No, I just put a new door in.
Actually, you got to go into the bathroom to close the door, and then
he made the door open out instead of in.
What can I tell you? But yeah. So like I said, my first pipe was 1973, and Bob. I was kind of Bob's 7 years older than me, so he had a big start of collecting. So I tried to keep up with it up until he moved. He was about 800 to 1,000. And I said, I can get there. I can catch up. Good. And I'm looking around, and I literally have no more room to put. And I'm like, I got enough here to smoke almost a different pipe for almost 2 years straight. But Kyle's in it. He knows what I'm talking about. Teresa will smoke after dinner. She's good for 2 cigars.
She's good for 2 boxes
a week.
My wife smokes too.
Yeah, no, it's her chill time. She loves it. And most of the times I'll grab a cigar with her, but I'll have my pipe too. And Eden says, she's smoking her pipe tonight also, that she picked up at the Chicago International Pipe Show from Joey G. And let's see, 1973. Yes. Okay, Papa and Mama. All right, Ish. I know you're a baby. I think
my comments must have disconnected because I'm no longer getting the comments.
Yeah, you're missing a whole bunch of comments.
Yeah, I'm no longer getting them.
Oh, you're up. Oh, damn. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not updating.
Oh, this guy's ripping you apart. Oh my God. Oh, don't say that about right. No, he's a good guy. No,
stop, Ish.
Boy. You got some haters here.
In the words of Ish, that motherfucker.
Oh,
well, you should see the pictures of the ladies, Ryan. I mean, there's pictures of like naked ladies coming through here too.
Well, I'm married. I'm married. You guys can have those. I'm good.
That's why you get the pictures, because you're married. That's right.
So
little boobies.
Was cigars?
I smoke every day.
First?
Every day.
Was it pipes first?
Well, the first was a pipe in 1973, and then it really kicked off cigars in 1992, I believe, when Aficionado had their first big
cigar
convention boom over in Manhattan. Bob, Frank, and I went, and when I tell you that we literally had remember the old paper shopping bags? I mean, they were like big. We came home with 4 bags each, and that just set us off. And it's been cigars since 1992. So how many years are we talking? 32 years of solid smoking. But don't tell my doctor. Vinny Box ain't going to like that.
So do you mix and match? Like, will you start with a pipe and end with a cigar?
I can do both. I can do both.
On a Saturday morning or a Sunday when you're out.
Saturday morning, I'm doing my radio show, and that's still on FM. I do a 3-hour sports radio show every Saturday morning when I wake up. But when I get there, I've been doing that for 17 years.
When you can smoke in the morning, do you prefer a pipe because it's typically a little bit more milder? Or
I'll go with a Connecticut probably.
Okay.
A pipe. When I do my pipe, there's got to be nothing going on. My phones are dead, which never happened. But I'm just saying, sit back outside in the deck or in the room where that's more of a me time when I smoke a pipe. It's just
more ritual.
It's right, Kyle. It's more of a chill. I mean, we do once a month. I'm the vice president of the Chicago Pipe Club. We do a monthly meeting over at Arlington Pipe Cigar Lounge. We gather from 30 to 60 pipe smokers once a month. And that's chilling with everybody, who's sharing each other's tobacco, who tries something new, who bought a new pipe, who's, showcasing it. That's a different, type of thing. But more cigars, it's kind of quick. It's, boom, let's go. And Teresa and I, we might have the same type of cigar. So, hey, how do you like it? What do you think? We give our own little reviews of, what we like and stuff. But it's we're both. I think more cigar Smokers will try a pipe rather than my pipe guys. The old timers, they are not much into cigars, but that's changing because a lot of newbies, I'm going to use Kyle, you tell me wrong, between 28 and 45 now are picking up the pipe, and they're finding that as a totally different head.
But are they putting tobacco in?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because in my state, they're picking up they're picking up a pipe in my state, but I don't know if they're putting.
Yeah, no,
those are the glass pipes.
And I gotta tell you, this new shit today, the way it smells, that stuff is just dead raccoon. I mean, that's just roadkill smell. I can't take it at all. You go back to the 70s and what's that?
Yeah,
it's the sticky icky.
Oh, it's horrible. I don't know.
Pineapple Express.
Kyle, don't go pineapple on me now. We know what that stands, okay? You're the only guy who's got a pineapple on the suitcase, so don't go there.
Hey, I'm single. What can I tell you?
Whatever you like, buddy. Whatever you like. I'm just saying, the new stuff today doesn't smell anything like back, the Acapulco Gold, Jamaican Red back in the day. You can tell there's a big difference. Might not be as potent as the stuff today, but I think it was more of a delight to say. The stuff today, I don't want no part of it. It just horrible.
Well, I will tell you this. I would love to be there in the room to see Ronnie rip a bong. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I don't think you want
Ronnie, get there and go.
That's all you're gonna get, man.
No, but Ronnie has had the brownies, though.
All right, Clinton.
Exactly. I'm thinking of good old Billy. I never inhaled. Yeah, okay. Tell me another bullshit story. No, no. I'd cough my brains out, man. It's just not. It doesn't go down naturally.
So let me ask you this, Ronnie. As somebody that's been smoking cigars since the 90s to now, you've smoked probably, if not all of the major brands in existence from then to now, for sure the legacies that are still around.
I would have to go ahead.
What, in your opinion, has changed in cigars? So, like, what I mean by that is, the Model T revolutionized everything. It was great. It stopped horses, it stopped horse buggies and everything. And then you moved into now you've got supercars where they're completely different. So how has cigars changed quality wise from then to now? Does that make sense?
I let me see if I go this way. I think in the 90s when that big boom happened, and there was a lot of the big boys to say, they were just pushing out smokes left and right. I think way before the time there was ammonia still smell and stuff like that. They were just pushing it out because it was the boom. And people, backwoods. Sorry, I don't mean to not rip on a back, but backwoods at poker tables was a big thing. You can smoke it backwards, and then you can have a big name guy. White Owls, Dutch Boys. Those were big with my grandfather.
Dutch
Boys, a lot of those.
He's smoking paint. You mean the Dutch Masters?
Yeah, Dutch Master.
He's smoking paint Dutch Boys.
You got me on that, but everybody else knew what I was talking about. Hey, forget about it.
We did, but I wasn't going to say anything.
No, but Kyle, listen, you got to know Kyle. If he can destroy me in a heartbeat, he's Polish. That's the bad part. So, I mean, if Kyle could rip on me at any given time, you don't even ask for pay. He just loves to do it. So it's okay.
But if I'm not ripping on you, Ronnie, you got something to worry about because only brothers rip on brothers. So
I love you, brother. I love
you.
So,
absolutely.
So the big thing was, I think it was pushed big time in the 90s. I think from then till now, the quality,
yes.
the quality the roll, the everything. I told you earlier, the research
what it comes
and
down
the science.
Is the consumer is way more educated now than what they were back in the 90s. Because now with the onset of the internet, anybody can look up anything. They can learn anything. They can read on anything. So when you're talking about a consumer nowadays versus the consumer in the 90s, the consumer has way more knowledge now. So you almost have to elevate your cigar game to be able to impress people these days. So there isn't enough time out there to be putting a bad product out,
Mm-hmm.
because people just won't stand for it, because there's too much out there that is way good that you can't, you wouldn't have had access to in the 90s. This is a totally different era, and I think where we went with in the cigar industry now, it's such a better place to be in, because everything has to be of a high quality. So like you're getting good product out there, and it's all coming out of Nicaragua, Honduras, Dominican Republic. All these places are putting out really, really good tobacco leaves, and that's stuff that you wouldn't gotten in the 90s.
No, and I agree with you. I mean, absolutely. But what blows me away is the price differences, right?
Well,
Yep.
you look at the
living.
90s, you're at a few bucks a cigar, and now you're thousands of percent over.
Yes.
A lot. Some of them now. I mean, Ronnie, in the 90s, a $30 cigar was completely unheard of. Right?
Oh, unheard of. Absolutely. Yeah. Frank and I and Bob,
what was expensive?
Well, no, but put it this way: back in '91 and '92, we went to a little joint, a little Cuban shop in Union City, and great. He had 6 rollers, small little hole in the wall, and they were rolling. And the owner we met, we had a great time. He says, "This is back then, Ron. If you pay more than $1.25 a stick, you're getting ripped off." In the '90s, $1.25, you said you were getting ripped off. Okay. Now, again, the house has to make money. They got to make money. It's their business. They have to. But I think some of the exaggerated prices of today is out of control, and it's a ripoff. I mean, yeah, everybody says, "Oh, I smoked that $175 cigar." Good for you. But $175, I could have bought a box of what a favorite.
Smoke for a month.
And again, whatever your price range is, I'm not in that price range. But for the little guy, the pennies count. Not nickels a dime. It's pennies to turn a profit, because I think to really grow, you have to do this full time. You have to do it full time. And again, you have to start somewhere. So of course you have your job, your job, but your passion of the cigar. But you have to make that decision. If I'm really going to do this, then you really need to you have to look at the long goal, a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan. Because if this is what you really want to do, it is no way easy. And especially if you don't have that silver spoon backing you, it is one slow step at a time. So you have to make sure you find the right house who's going to be honest with you, give you the best tobacco, the best product, the best roll, because it's the only way that you can grow. Everybody says, "Oh, I want to make a cigar for myself, and I'll take 5 boxes." A shop is not going to stop for 5 boxes.
No.
It's costing them money to change that over. But if you want it, you have to go for it. Chantel was just talking about this the other night. If you're in, you're all in. You're not part-time. You are all in. You eat and sleep your cigar. Yes. And that's how you grow. And she's on it. If you watch our show, and I'm sorry, I'm going to sell it, Ryan, but if you watch our show from 2 nights ago with Chantel, you saw a woman who is giving it her all, 100% dived in, and that's the decision she made, and she's going to make it. Let me tell you, there's some people you talk to. Kyle and I have been around, and you've been around now too. You see it. This woman is going to make it, because you can hear it in her speech. You can see it in her eyes. You can see her mannerism, how she is looking long term, not just for this year or next year. It is a long term. She is sold out, and that's the way you really make it. Now, obviously, some people have to go a little bit slower because they have a job. They have to support that. But it's now 2 full-time jobs. It's your regular job, job, and then your world of cigars. Yes. And man, you have to hit the right house, though. Whatever it is, you got to make sure that house is taking care of you. When you believe in that owner, and that owner treats you right, like, okay, Ish, for instance, I know several of his people that are underneath him, and he does it right. He does it right for them because he takes care of them. and he's going to show them the way. You can't do it your way or the highway. You have to listen to the people that are in the business, that obviously they want you to succeed, because if you succeed, they succeed. You know, it's a win-win. It's just not a house that's going to take your money and, yeah, okay, next month, I'll see you next month. They don't care about you. They invested their time, their house, into making you the best possible cigar that you want for you to take it to the next level. So instead of 5,000 boxes, they want to help you get to 10,000 boxes, 20,000 boxes, you know, and that's where the boutique guy, and it comes back around again, the small guys have to do it. And if they follow that small little way of SOP of doing it, they will succeed. You know, they will. And it's all about the passion. Basically, it's about the passion. And anyone with passion can always do anything they want.
Well, and I also think that the consumer, if you have that quality product, they are more willing to part with their money for something that's quality. You know, they won't waste their money on something that's bad or not working for them. They'll move on to something that they know that they can get quality. But we live in this day and age now that, you know, even for myself, you know, I look for the products that are made in the USA, something that, you know, it may be, you know, twice the amount of money that I'll spend that I could get from China. But if I know that it's quality and made here, I'm willing to spend that money on something to get something that I know that's going to be quality and it's going to last.
No, I totally agree. And I totally agree. I think you know, if you guys ever seen Layer Cake, the movie Layer Cake. Okay, so you have to go back and watch the movie. You guys like Daniel Craig?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so this movie launched him.
Okay.
All right, this was one of his audition movies for James Bond. I mean, it is without a doubt better than James Bond. You have to go back and watch it. But no. I'm not even kidding. It is very well done, and it is very good. It's called Layer Cake.
Okay, I'm going to check that out because I'm a Bond man.
Bane. What's his
name? My favorite Bond character was Sean Connery.
Absolutely, number one.
Was the best Bond.
What's the guy who played Bane? In the movie, he is super young in that movie in Layer Cake.
All right.
But really good. But there was a guy in the movie, and he talks about the word expensive and how expensive is a relative term. Expensive is relative to you. All right, but to Tom Hardy. Yes, Layer Cake. It's a Guy Ritchie. It's very Guy Ritchie. Like it's absolutely incredible. But I was talking about this with Ricky Rodriguez when I was in Tampa not too long ago, and we were talking about expensive cigars. And you had mentioned I smoked $175 cigar. Not you, but just somebody that said I smoked.
Somebody was just telling me about it, and I'm like, 175. That's crazy.
And Ricky was like, it's so many people look at a product like even cigars, whiskey, rum, all of that is the expensive is more actual value out of it or more flavorful or better. But the reality of it is your palate's probably not refined enough to understand the difference between a $10 cigar and a $175 cigar. Not that there isn't, but therein lies the issue. Is you're not buying the cigar because you like it. You're buying the cigar out of the fact that it's $175 and you want to say you love it. I have a buddy. I bought a bottle of 21 Glenlivet. I still have the bottle. Most expensive bottle I ever bought. It's $171.
That's all?
And, yeah, right? And one of my buddies is a really big bourbon Scotch collector. The cheapest thing in his collection is like $800.
Absurd.
And he brought me over and we were drinking and I told him about this bottle and he looked at me and goes, "Why'd you like it?" I was like, "Well, it was this, it was that." He goes, "Yeah, but that's every Scotch. So why did you like that?" And I was like, "Well," he goes, "Yeah, but that's every Scotch. Why did you want something that was $125 more than the normal bottle?" And I said, "I don't know." And he goes, "Quite frankly, I don't know either." He goes, "I have all of this Scotch collection." He goes, "It doesn't all taste the same," but he goes, "This is status. I only collect these because everybody else wants them. And it's kind of in that same level when you go for expensive cigars like that. It's
Right.
everybody else wants it. Like there's $1,000 cigar put out by Gurkha. Why?
Yeah.
Because people will pay for it. My brother works for BMW. I asked him, is a McLaren F1 worth $2.5 million? And he said, no. And I said, then why does it cost that much? He goes, because there's idiots
Because
that
they
will pay.
can. Exactly.
And therein lies the problem, is the quality is not the 175 worth necessarily, but people are willing to buy it. Take the new Fuente Padron cigar. I'm not saying anything negative about anything. It's a cigar completely out of my price range. I think they're $100 a piece or $200 a piece or something like that. It's completely out of my price range. I will take it on somebody else's opinion how great of a cigar that is. I don't feel my palate will ever be refined enough to even, and I don't think 99% of the palates are refined enough to understand the difference between that quality of a cigar and something less. Am I just wrong in that, or am I jaded in that, or?
No, I agree with you 100%. I'm sorry. I think the average cigar price between $8 and $12, and I think that's affordable to everybody. And I think that gives an opportunity for everybody to smoke everything they can. It's just like we just had Bruce Stark just mentioned earlier about it. Why you want to buy that is because you always want what you can't have. And that's just a human nature thing. No question about it. But I think the $8 to $12 price range now, again, because of the cost of living, is where a cigar would be. It's an easier sell. And I think everyone expects that. When you get a little bit higher, it's somebody who's got the excess of cash to go for it, or who's been on that, or has come through the ranks and spoken that line so long, so they're going up with the cost of living expense.
Or they smoke a couple a year, and that expense, or they smoke a couple a year, and that $30 cigar isn't a big deal for them.
Right, but I think under $15, just like Ian just said right now, price point under $15 is where it should be.
Yeah, again, I agree with you. Sorry, guys, I can't see these comments. My comments are broke right now, so
that's okay. But you also got to understand how much greed do you want as an owner? You gotta look at volume, and I think cigars is a volume thing. So you don't have to be so greedy. I think when you're trying to make a buck and make it happen, you want to put your cigar up there because you're bringing in income. But when you start off, you need to just make sure you cover your expenses and a little sum for you, because that is how your cigar is going to get out to the market, because people can afford that. When you start touching over 15, then people are like, and look this shelf next door. Well, this is a known brand. I'll go with that one because I can afford maybe $2 cheaper type of thing. Again, it's greed and how much that owner wants to put on it, or the brick and mortar shop, or how much they want to add on to it after everything else is paid off. It just comes down to the price point, what people could afford. Different neighborhoods can afford different pricing, so you have to look at what's going on with that. And it's a tough industry. If anyone thinks that this is an easy industry to get into, then you have not done your research. You have not spoken to the right people, and you're being taken by somebody who's going to take you down quickly financially and use you and kick you off when you say, no, I can't buy no more. There's going to be another person out there that think they can do better and they can make it happen. Boots on the ground, promotion, getting their name out there is the key.
And Chris put it in pretty good terms too. He said anyone can afford to smoke an expensive cigar, just not every day. He says, he loves the Byron Black, but not certainly afford a box of them. And if you wanted to smoke a $175 cigar to experience it, you just may have to save up for it throughout the year, and then enjoy that one cigar. It's not something that you can afford to do every day. So I mean, it's living within your own means. What you can have at your disposal too.
Again, if you look at my household, where I told you earlier, Teresa is definitely a 2 cigar night person. I'll do one at least, if not 2. So if you look at a cost factor, and let's say they were just $10 a day, which is more, but that's $40 in his household per day. Now you do that times 7, that's $280 a week I'm spending. That's $560 every 2 weeks. That's $1220 a month I'm spending on cigars. Yeah, that's up there. That's up there. Okay. And that's where we're at. That's quick numbers. Did I do good on the numbers?
You did.
Probably not. I wouldn't. But I don't have the time or the effort.
I think I'm pretty good. Yeah, you do it. Do it. I want you to do it. Get on your phone right now and you do those numbers, folks. You all did that. Everybody heard me. You tell me.
But no, I don't disagree with you. So then why do you think we're seeing so many 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 new release cigars? Like, I mean, I just feel like the industry is being flooded with
it's being flooded because
plus.
It's ridiculous, honestly. It's like if the wheel's not broken, then why try to change it? It's because the promotion. The big boys got their names. They don't need to start all this crazy stuff. And a newcomer, have your 4 or 5, work on it. Work on that and grow it. Just grow it. Don't overgrow yourself. Yeah, people are always looking for something new. Listen, there's over 350 boutique cigar guys alone out there, probably more.
Yeah.
Right? Would you say at least 350?
There's that many that fail every year, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So why are you're already competing enough within your own little market? Why are you going to try to keep pushing more and more when you haven't even nurtured your baby? Nurture the baby. Grow with it. Spend everything you got. Invest into the babies. Once you get established and you're there, you don't need to put something out new each and every single year like some of the big boys do because, it's PCA, we're going to be exclusive. Everybody knows who you are. Make good with what you got. That's all. Make good with what you got. Spend your money and what you have. And it's a journey. Don't make it a race. It's a journey. Take your time. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I started with. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, and a lot of your higher priced cigars are really dependent on the leaves and what leaves are available. Like Luciano just partnered with Peter. What's his name? Peter James.
Peter James.
And the cigar that is blended there, I mean, that's a $60 cigar. But when we were talking with Luciano about this, he's talking about like how there is the type of leaves that are in that cigar there's a very, very short supply. So the only way to, get that price point and, everything, he's got to do his factory and stuff like that. So in these leaves that are coming in, there's not a lot of them. So, a lot of times what's available is going to dictate, the price, what they can get their hands on and what they can do and roll with. So, it's a supply and demand type of thing too. So if there's very little supply, that price point's going to go up. If there's more supply, the price point's down.
Those are basic limited editions
Yeah.
on high-end tobacco leaves,
Yes.
which we all know is very difficult to have. Some houses have it stored. Some houses are not going to sell out to another house because they know what they got.
Yes.
People senior smokers who know are going to give that a shot compared to a newbie is going to give that a shot because they don't know any better. You mentioned earlier, Ryan, our palates. A lot of the people's palates are really not that educated in the taste.
Yeah,
so
like Ronnie's palate sucks.
Like me. I burnt it out 30, 40 years ago. But again,
1972.
No, 73. Don't lie.
73.
Come on, you're a young man, 39. You forgot that already. We just talked about it an hour ago. God, you're rough, man. You're rough. You give me no respect.
I'm a husband. I forget everything.
I bet you do. But I'm just saying, it's you got to look at it step by step and crawl before you walk. Just like Chantel even mentioned, crawl before you walk. It's that simple. Stop racing. Take your time. Enjoy the journey. We all want to get to point A to point B, but why? Why do you have to get that there fast? Enjoy it. Spend your money wisely. Think and promote yourself and have your goals. Set your goals. Find that right house. If you're really good with that house and you're really comfortable, then go for it. One step at a time.
I can tell you this, the good houses are right here in Florida. You should look into that, Ronnie.
Oh man, Marisa, she's listening. Oh, she's saying you're number one.
Hey,
you're number one, Kyle.
Kyle, he's gonna move into your neighborhood and just bring the housing prices down. So I don't
Oh, that's for sure what happened.
Ronnie brings in the riffraff.
Absolutely. And if it's next to Kyle, no problem. There'll be no more golf. I can tell you that.
Hey, Ronnie, the house across the street from me is for sale. You can move in across the street.
Really? Make him an offer I can't refuse, Kyle. I'll teach you how you do it.
He wants $550.
What you guys didn't see pre-show was Ronnie was doing keg stands to get ready for the show.
Oh, keg stands! Wow.
I'd pay to try.
In college.
I'd pay to see Ronnie do a keg stand right now because I guarantee you he couldn't do it, let alone a keg push-up.
I don't know that
I would pay myself to see me do a keg stand. Are you kidding me? All I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera upside down. That's the best I can do.
Too bad the cameras rotate now, so just flip
They do. It's all good. Kyle, forget about Tampa. I'll go to St. Pete instead. Don't worry about it. I'll make that neighborhood thrive. We'll make those $1 million houses easy when I move in. No problem.
So, what do you guys? What is the end goal with the show then? Because we're getting down to the end of the show here. So I want
Are we?
No, I know, right?
Me. Kick Kyle off at 9. Don't worry about it. We can go on all night.
It's already 9:47 here.
Oh, sorry to say.
Kyle's bedtime, everybody, is 10:15. What you don't see is he's already got his blanket and he's actually got no pants on, so he's just gonna come right off and go straight back. There you go.
He's showing the leg. Don't worry. He's got his binky next to him too.
Were those Duluth boxers? Those look like Duluth boxers.
No, these are my Under Armour workout shorts because I just got off the bike.
See, I wear workout clothes to make people think I work out. Because I always tell people you don't get a figure like this doing nothing.
Hey, that's like
doing
that's
nothing.
like almost every woman out there that wears the Lululemons around. I'm like, damn well they ain't working out, but they're just wearing it because it makes them look good.
Hey,
for some.
Let's go
that way. Be honest, Kyle. Tell it the way it is.
Sometimes, and men are the same way. They wear stuff that's way too tight. They look like a pop biscuit, Pillsbury biscuit container sometimes.
I don't understand the skinny jean fashion. I truly don't. I don't
Nothing
know
about me is skinny.
Listen, I had my Sergio Valentes when Sergio was just coming about. So let's not go there, all right?
Oh, Ronnie, you were wearing the bell bottoms and
right.
And the leisure suit.
I had it all, buddy. I was a happening dude until I met my wife.
So where do you guys see your show? Do you guys plan on doing this for as long as the good Lord lets you do it?
Well, yeah, I talked to the big Lord just the other day. I asked if I could go to 100. He said, Ron, keep going, man. Don't stop. And I don't ever plan on stopping. I love this. It's a passion, hanging out, talking. I really love what I do with the guys. I mean, I love it.
Yeah, I'd like to be doing this for as long as
I keep you, Kyle. So be good to me.
I love the camaraderie that we have on our show because I think the dynamic that we have between the four of us, there's nothing like it out there. Everyone likes watching our show just because of what we bring to the table. We had Luciano was a big proponent of sponsoring us and getting us off our feet in the beginning, and he even told us he wanted to see the show go in a different direction, but we all four of us kind of held our roots and said, no, this is what we do, this is ours. And even to this day he comes up to us and he says, he's like, I think the best advice you ever did was not listening to me, because what you guys are doing, he's like, I wouldn't want to change that for the world. He sees what we do, and I think that's what draws people into our shows, is because we're a bunch of four chooches. We bullshit with each other. It's a good time. You have a good time for the 2 hours that we're on Tuesday nights. That there is nothing like that on any that I've seen on any show that has the dynamic of the co-hosts that we have.
I agree. And I tell everybody, they ask me, you guys are a show I watch, and I watch Cigar Prop and a couple others. It's not a whole lot that I watch, but I always promote your show when I talk to people about new shows
brother.
if they haven't seen it. And I tell them it's
Thank
literally like bringing a lounge into your house. It's 4 guys, 5 guys, sometimes more. Everyone's talking, shooting the shit, laughing. It's literally like you're the outsider watching a conversation at a lounge.
Yeah.
And commenting on it. And that's what you guys bring to this. That's why I feel you guys are so successful. Me, I can't get anybody to really come on a show and host with me.
Hey, for $50 an hour, I'll be there next Thursday. No wrong.
Hey, if you pay for my flight, I'll be out there for you.
But the reality of it is, like, I found, like, Ronnie told me in the beginning, like, find your niche.
Yeah.
And, like, stick with it. I found my niche is diving into your life.
Yes.
Figuring out what sucks about it and showing everybody how you persevered and kept going. What is your drive? And it's because I'm a sales guy. Drive is everything for me. And like, I'll never forget, Mickey Pegg was on the show, and he actually openly kind of yelled at me on the show. He's like, "Can we not talk about my failures?" And I said, "No." So let's continue. And at the end of the show, he's like, he goes, "I understand what you were trying to do." And I said, "Listen, I tried to show everybody that at 50, they can start over. Look, you did. At 40, they could start over. Look, you did. You lost a lot. You bring in Robert Holt. He's got another great perseverance story. He lost a ton in life.
Yeah.
He had a really rough go for a lot of years, and he built himself back up. So that's my niche. And I don't think that lends to a co-host as well. But your guys' show is much more of a interview, shoot the shit, make fun of each other. Like, it's like I said, it's very much a lounge on your show every single Tuesday. And that is, I feel, a comfortable draw for a lot of people because they could feel like they could sit and laugh and have a good time and everything else.
That's all we want, Ryan. That's what you just said right there. And I'll stop you. I don't mean to be rude and interrupt, but that's exactly what we want our audience to have, because life is serious enough. When they come on, we want them to sit down, have a smoke, have a nice drink, and relax. And we hope we can bring them into that atmosphere of a lounge and laugh with us. I mean, Kyle is the only non-family. It's my brother and my cousin. And so we...
Whoa, Kyle. Whoa. Non-family?
Well, blood. Oh. He's our stepchild. So
the redheaded stepchild.
Exactly. But I don't know what color hair he has right now. But
I'm gonna put that Jera red dot back on your forehead there, Ronnie.
You want to see Jera? Should I move the camera? She's over there looking at me right now. But that's exactly what we want. We want people to just have a good time, laugh with us. Like Kyle said, we goof on each other. I'm pretty much the butt of most jokes, and it's okay with me.
Well, you're a butt, all right.
You want me to do it? I'll bend over. I'll show you a real butt. But we love that. We love to make people laugh. We bring some interesting stuff like you would do in a lounge.
Oh,
Frank's a historian guy.
Am I a clown? Do I make you laugh? Ha ha. Huh? What is this?
Well, the only thing I agreed there is that you're a clown. I don't know about the laugh, but
I love that movie, by the way.
But great movie. But that's what we're hoping for. And whatever basically has happened this last year has really, our numbers are really growing. They're coming on big time. So we know we got a good formula for people to escape reality and get rid of their stress and just hang out and have a good time. And as long as we see the numbers growing and the comment section like you have in there right now, we feed off of the comments also. So we know we're the audience is being entertained. They're also more now asking questions. We're picking a lot more questions from the audience to ask our guests, and they're asking us. So we're now interchanging more with them, and it's
interchanging. You mean
interacting? Yeah, we can say that too.
Drink.
You know what? I haven't had a drink in a while. Salute, everybody, listeners. Thank you so much for all your support, by the way.
Salute. So I am very curious to kind of end the night with some fun shit.
Yeah.
Not that we haven't been having fun all night. This has been great. I can't believe it's been 2 hours already. Like this is
no. It's 1 hour and 55 minutes. Don't rush things. Slow down. Slow down. It's a journey, man. Don't rush.
Of all the people, Ronnie's going to be the one to point out the real statistics of this thing.
I like that.
Because he's a numbers guy. He's a program manager, so he's down to the second.
Don't let him fool you. He's not a program anything.
Yeah, you know what? Your Woody's not growing, but your nose is. You're such a liar.
You know what does it for me? And I'll never forget this. The first time where I actually realized, and I want to get y'all's story, and if we run a little over, it's fine. But I'm curious. The first experience I ever had, and if my friends weren't there, nobody would have ever believed. I was at Havana Nights, and the place I launched my show, which is called Smoking Cave Cigar Lounge, Highlands Ranch. Big shout out to Sean, love him. Nico is watching as well. Nico, who now works for La Aurora, was integral in helping this show get off the ground. And I'll never forget, I went to the first Havana Nights, which is about 6 months after the show started. And somebody walked up to me and was like, I know your voice. Ryan, Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. Can I get a picture? And I'm like, sure. I don't know what to do, but yeah.
You know, like you smile and you look like an idiot and say hi.
Exactly. But you're kind of taken aback by that, right? Because you're you're like, I know I do the show. Like it's not unfamiliar to me, but
right.
The fact that like even at TGS, I probably had 15, 20 people come up to me. Hey, can I get a picture? I watch every week. Can I get a picture? I watch every week. What was it like when you guys first had that experience? And what was that feeling like?
I don't know. When I came out of my mother, a lot of people wanted to take pictures with me too. So I've been doing it all my life. My mother used to hold my ears because she didn't want me like Dumbo, so she held me tight.
God, that's so Rodney Dangerfield. I can't even believe it, dude. I can't believe it. Oh man, that's so good. I love you, Rodney. Love you.
Honestly, when it was happening to us, especially at PCA and everybody, it's almost like we're at Cheers. Everybody knows our name, and it was like, wow, it was cool. We made it, and we felt good about it because the four of us worked very hard to get to where we are. And again, just what my cousin Frank does alone on the graphics and the time and that he invests in the show. Really, he invests so much time and brings so much research to it that it has helped us grow. And I don't know if he really realizes it, and I keep telling him I don't know if he believes me, but he is such a big part of this show. And with that, I guess we're getting known. People are seeing what we're doing. And like Kyle said earlier, we certainly are different than any other podcast. And we all follow. We have to look to see what else is out there. We're our own people. So we're not in competition with no one because we don't have to be, because everybody has their shtick. We have ours. And it's pretty much what works for us. It works. And we have meshed well together. It's a great team. And we have, we also have Chicken Joe Galena on, and we have Shotgun Jera on, and we got Cigar Box Kathy on, and those are, they come on. So the show is evolving. Always there's something different. We got ladies' night, so the ladies are always bringing in lady people. Joe's bringing in his spirit people. We're always having something going on, and it's different. So we try not to be the same show type all the time, but we're always going to bring you laughters and goofs. And if you like that, then we're where it's at.
You guys are
What's that?
You're the cigar variety show.
Yes.
You could say that because I don't think nobody does what we do.
No, that's what I mean. You have tons of guests. It's hee-haw for cigars. You guys have tons of guests come in. You guys joke, make fun of each other, pull laughs, do bits, and it really is a cigar variety show. And I'm a firm believer that you guys are right. You're the only show that I can think of right now that has 4 or 5 constant hosts that you guys all rip on one guy, Ronnie.
And it's okay. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's one guy. Like it's one guy. If Ronnie didn't know that he was loved, he would just not leave the house.
I'd be like my brother Bob. I'll just sit there and just.
He's a mute.
He's a mute. I'm a mute. What's a mute?
But no, the reality of it is we've this is such a great industry that you're right. We all have niches. We all have stuff, but we could all come together, and there are feuds between shows which are stupid, and I get it, but it's fine. I don't partake in that. I know you guys don't. And I think a lot of that is why the success of both shows, yours significantly over mine, but eventually I'll get there. Eventually I'll get
You're there. You're there, Ryan.
You're there in your own way. You don't realize it. You're bringing knowledge. You're bringing hosts in that people want to know about.
Ryan, and you're so money, you don't even know it.
Thank you. Now watch my head just get a little.
You forgot to tell Ryan he makes tens of dollars doing this.
No,
okay?
I make tens of nickels.
Tens of nickels. I love it. Yeah.
You know what though? Yeah. The funny thing is I don't think any of us that started the show, like, let's just be real for a second. I don't think any of us that ever started a show like this. I know for me, I only expected this thing to last through COVID because I was stuck at home and I was bored, and I never expected anybody to give a shit about anything I had to say. And I think it's kind of like, at what point in time in the show's creation were you guys like, wow, we actually have fucking got something here? Like, people are actually wanting to watch. Like, were you guys shocked?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bob certainly was. Bob, when he started, he never expected to do anything more than just chilling with me as two brothers hanging out on the show. Can I say something? A shout out?
Yeah.
Just our cousin, the Chooch Master himself.
I see that. He's here.
Cousin Frank has joined the show on the commenting side.
Yeah,
hello.
Absolutely.
Well, let me do a Frank. Hello.
I have the comments up over here, but the comments are screwed up on my thing right now. I can't see them, but I'm looking at them. I have
for whatever reason your StreamYard decided to disconnect from Facebook.
Yeah, which makes no sense. So, but I'm watching it. I'm watching them over here. I just can't post them. How you doing, Frank? They were talking mad shit about you. You should rewind it. And
watch the show, Frank. Watch the show again.
Might change the dynamic of the shows going forward. But Frank, let me tell you.
No,
and I can tell you this, Ryan, because going back to what you're saying, like, when did you like come into like when people like started coming? I mean, I remember one time I went into a cigar lounge. It was I think it was like a Friday night. I was just there to just smoke, relax, just have a good time, and then like I'm like lit up my cigar. I'm just in the middle, just having a good time, drinking my whiskey, and then like somebody comes up to me just out of left field, and they're like, "Hey, you're Kyle from the cigar show, right?" And I'm like, and I look, and I'm like, I've never seen this person in my life again. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And they're like, oh, you guys do such good work. And I'm like, hey, thank you. And I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like, and it's funny because like these people, like, they know you, but I have no idea who they are. Like they know
that's a problem,
everything
Kyle.
that we're talking.
You need to know these people. You need to know these people. Respect
Ronnie,
them.
that's your department. You go on with your 5,000 friends and figure it all out.
I got rid of one person today. I'm down to 499.
I'll tell you what. Speaking about fans, like I have a lot of people that hardcore watch this show. You guys have a lot of people that hardcore watch your show.
Yes, we do.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Bruce Stark.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Earthling.
This guy is so well known. I don't know how he doesn't have his own fucking show.
Because he's on everybody else's show. He's got no time.
He's too busy commenting on everyone else's.
So
Bruce is on the show to win everybody's prizes. That's how he supports his habit. If he had his own show, that means he has to buy his own stuff. So
I love.
Plus, he has those blue pill stops. He needs the blue pill.
Well, he's got a lot of girlfriends. He's got a lot of girlfriends. He's like Bob.
He's a
Dole.
happy-go-lucky guy. He's certainly
like,
for sure.
He's like Bob Dole. He could be the sponsor for the blue pill. But
does he have a hand? Or does he have to?
Just hold the pen.
Hi, I'm Bob.
But no, like you take someone like Bruce. Like Bruce is somebody that is a fan of the show. He's been with me almost like day one, to the point where, like, if I don't mention that I'm having a Thursday show, he texts me, and I love it because it's like oh my gosh. Yeah, he goes, is everything okay? I love you, brother. I just want to make sure you're okay. Like that you didn't announce. I love that actually happens, because that shows that, like, people literally plan their nights around our shows, around the show that we put time into and effort and love and stress into to get going. And it pays off so much when you have people like Chris and Richard and Richard Beard, Chris Couture, Josh, and just so many I can name that are just so dedicated to watching. And I still don't know why.
Because we're a bunch of chooches.
Yeah, but they like.
He's got no life in Michigan. You got to understand that. In Michigan, is nothing. So that's why he comes and hangs out with us. You know, on the show, we get a little text, sponsor time, and we got to know we got to go to the sponsor because you got to run to the bathroom. So it's he fits in the time that we got to go.
I noticed that.
Well,
but
you noticed it, right? God forbid we're like 5 minutes late, because then we get messages from a whole bunch of people like,
are you on?
Are you guys on? What's going on? Like,
but like, doesn't that make you feel? That makes me feel good, because that makes me feel like the effort and the work is cherished,
absolutely,
and worth it. And I actually feel bad when I do have to not miss a Thursday, because I feel like I've just wrecked people's nights that count on watching the show. And I'm not saying I'm anything big or anything like that, but it's nice to have. It's nice to be wanted, and it's nice to be valued. Yes. And it's nice to have your work actually mean something to other people.
Yes, 100%, Ryan. 100%.
You got it.
We absolutely love.
They own the coffin right there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, it's a lot of work, like you said earlier. I know my cousin. God, if Frank doesn't put 40 hours a week in, and folks, you're listening. So if you're thinking about doing a podcast, my cousin Frank puts probably 40 hours a week in to put and promote that show. All right. It's not easy. I mean, you could stand in front and talk, you know. I mean, not only does he do that, they do the pre-show on Instagram, him and Bob. And again, they won't even let me on. When I come on, I say hello. My brother says, "Oh, fuck that guy. Don't put him on." You know, I mean, that's just what my brother does. And, you know, and do I take that to heart? I give him the finger, but even though he doesn't see it, but you know, so they're prepping. So there's so much work to promote this show and get it out there to everybody. I mean, you know, I'm Facebooking and PMing people. Hey, the show's on tonight. Reminding them, you got to stay on it because people are busy. You know, and you got to. If you want them to join and have fun and laugh with you, then you got to let them know you're on, because everybody's got a busy schedule. So, you know, we promote all the time. Who's coming on, so people know, you know, and it takes a lot of work, but the passion and the love at the end of the day, like our after shows, after the show we stay on. Like we had Chantel the other night. I thought the after show was even better than the show itself, and we had a great ass time. I mean,
you guys have to go to their OnlyFans account for the after show.
Yes. We sell lots of feet pics on that show.
Well, you're not supposed to say that, Kyle. You dirty old boy. But I mean, I can tell you, we laughed. Because we weren't on, and we just got raunchy and dirty and stupid, and it was so much fun. I mean, and my brother Bob, who needs to run and escape as soon as the show's over, either to run home or run to the bathroom like Bruce does, he stayed on and laughed his ass off, and we were just as if we were just hanging out in a lodge, in a lounge, and just having a great time. Yeah. And that's what, again, for me, it sucks because, you know, my cousin and brother are down there together, and Kyle's now on the other side. So I have nobody sitting next to me. I got to look at my wife across the board, which ain't bad. I'm okay. I wink at her once in a while. But, you know,
I'm just waiting for the right hook.
Yeah.
She's doing that word game. She's playing the word game. That's more interesting. And smoking. She's on her second cigar already. I'm waiting for the third one to live. But it's my time also to be with my family and with Kyle. And that means so much to me because, I'm up here. They get to see each other anytime they want, but I'm stuck up here and I can't go anytime I want. So to cherish those hours in the day to be with them or talk to them, that's everything to me.
Don't worry, Ronnie. When we all get together, we smoke in your honor. It's a big celebration, and oh, Ronnie's not here, and we smoke up and have a great time. We drink a lot of whiskeys.
Okay,
they're talking about me.
So I'm gonna get a little sentimental with this thought here.
Uh-oh.
As a new father, I have a 3-year-old, going to be 3 in June. One of the things that I wish I had from my granddad, I loved my granddad's voice. I loved his voice so much. He would just so soothing. It was aggressive at times when I needed it. Wasn't a fan at those times, but the rest of the time, I wish I had recordings of him just talking. So for me, I'm looking at this going, some point in time, my kids, when they get older and I'm gone, they're going to be able to watch the show and hear me. They're going to be able to, and so for me, it's kind of a little, and that's like 3, 4, 5 down the list of kind of sentimental reasons for doing this. But Ronnie is someone like you who has grandkids, not too much longer for this world. And
holy shit! I got the big one. I'm coming, Louise. I'm coming. Oh my God! I told you I'm going to 100. Would you leave me alone? I only got 35 more years to go.
But the seriousness of it is, though, that's kind of a nice thought. Is when we are gone, our family can kind of relive our voices through this. I don't know. Maybe that's just something that I'm thinking about because
I get it. I know
what
you're
makes
saying.
Sense.
Because when I'm gone, I'm coming back and I'm going to haunt fucking Kyle. I'm going to just when he's making love to his teddy bear, I'm on top of it. Don't worry about it.
He'll finally take the toupee off. You're gone.
All right. Frank says it's Elizabeth. All right. They always got to correct me. You know what I'm talking about out there. Come on, give me a break.
But I don't know. For me, it's nice to know that a show like this, a show like yours, that it now lives in infamy and in kind of an understanding that there will be people on our shows that will be watched 30 years like we watched the old Walter Cronkites because these guys are no longer around the manufacturers and people want to know about it.
I like the honeymooners instead, Ralph Crandom. I'd rather go to the honeymooners.
Correct. But that idea of we're literally we're creating the cigar history right now and allowing people, even after we're gone, that are going to listen. That to me is kind of, it's a very satisfying feeling to know that what we're doing will live on in infamy to an extent.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know what? If these videos can last that long for them to understand, it would be wonderful. Hopefully they know that the 4 of us love to laugh. And we goofed on each other, and it's a family affair. And
and if anyone can understand what Ronnie's saying, I mean, that'd be a win in itself, right there.
Wow! You know what? I'm going to drink. I'm going to drink to your funeral, Kyle.
Show to show, Ronnie is still the one getting dumped on. Even
on your show, Ryan. I want to talk to your producers. I need to talk to somebody. Which is your favorite horse? Because he's fucking dead. I'll come to Colorado. Hey, Ish, you're listening. Do me a favor. You and I, we got a trip to make out to Colorado. There's somebody we need to take care of. Don't worry about it. Let's paratroop in.
If you guys would love to take the trip out, I would love to have you guys at the event in July presenting the dog that we started this charity for. Not this year, maybe next year. You guys always will have a ticket in hand for that event if you guys ever want to show up.
Wow, I feel like you're smart. You're going to take care of us, huh? Okay.
Well, no, I said I was just going to give you a ticket. I didn't say anything else. You don't get any of the swag. You just get the ticket.
Oh, man. Come on. I need a Ryan Miller Show t-shirt, man. You know?
Hey, you know what? Shirts are coming this year. Now that
Ooh.
I'm actually feeling like I'm established to an extent, I'm going to be looking into some shirts. Unfortunately, the cigar community is a bigger community, so the shirts cost a lot more.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I know
the
a guy.
average. Well, the funny thing is like I go to Cigar Fest. I don't know how you guys have never come to Cigar Fest here in Colorado.
We're busy. We got schedules, you know.
Get out of here. You're not busy. Stop.
Kyle works for a living. We have to work around Kyle's work.
Kyle's the one that works. But you know, Cigar Fest is a lot of fun. Definitely, guys, come out here. But I'm going to be.
It would be nice.
Swag.
We like to do some different things.
What I've noticed at Cigar Fest, I have to go to the free shirt that they give away from Drew Estate like right away because all the Fat Man 2XLs are gone first. Like I'm not even kidding. They are
ordering now.
So, well, thank
yeah.
you all. Thank you all very much. This has been just such an incredible show. Ronnie, I feel like I've gone full circle having you and Kyle on. Like I said, you guys were the first real podcast I did 9 months after I started. And
look at you now.
I honestly, like I said, when you called me and said, "Hey, do you want to come on in November?" I looked at my wife, was like, "I don't know if I'm going to be around in November, but like, well, I guess I'm around. I'll
had
hold
a good
out
feeling about you, brother. I had a good feeling about you.
But
and now he regrets it every day.
Now he's saying, "Damn, the only reason I'm doing this is to not make Ronnie feel bad." You know? No, that Ronnie, he's somebody. I guess I am. Yeah, it's all right, Grasshopper. You did good. You did good, Grasshopper. Call me master.
But
don't do it. Don't do it.
Through all of this, though, Ronnie, you've stayed a close friend. We've had some very intense discussions. We've had some lively discussions, and we've shared a lot with each other. And truly, your friendship is very much appreciated, Kyle. I thank you so much for even believing in the show and even wanting to even come on tonight, and as well as bringing me on back when it feels like so long ago. And I am so grateful for the friends I have made in this community, in this industry.
For sure, 100%.
And
meeting the new people and the guests that we have, they become family to us too.
Yeah.
They really have, and it's great. Bob and Frank busted their asses at the Chicago Pipe Show, interviewing almost every vendor we had. We had over 180 vendors, and they you can see on the show all the little mini takes that, Frank will get it going, but those contacts and those people, you can sense, you can feel their sincereness and thankfulness that Frank and Bob stopped by and gave him some time, because Frank and Bob and Kyle just went to the Tampa show, and we were the only media there, nobody else. And people like, how the hell did you guys get in here?
Yeah, the Big Smoke.
The Big Smoke, we were the only media there, nobody else. So
outside of Cigar Aficionado, they had their own media team, but we were the only outside media team in there covering it.
So that makes us feel real good that we can enter those kind of events, and invited like JC Newman. We're doing stuff down at their factories and stuff. So those are even Ish has invited us down to his house in, I don't know, in Florida, but going down to Dominican Republic, and we had a lot of houses invite. Hey, come on down, do a show on there. We'd love to go everywhere, but Kyle works, so we can't do anything about it.
It's all Kyle's fault. It's
always Kyle's fault.
But next big event we got coming up is the Barn Smoke. So
when is that for you guys?
That is in November, I believe. The Barn Smoker.
Well, we got the Barn Smoker in November, and then we'll be back down to Tampa for the Heritage also. Ybor?
Yes.
Yep. And then Frank and Bob, and maybe Kyle, if he hooks up, they're doing a lot of local stuff in Florida. They're always checking things out. So
I'm always in Tampa and Orlando. I'm
November
going
9th.
back and forth.
Yeah, Frank. Hey, Dan Thompson. How are you? Howdy there, Dan.
Dan.
How are you?
Love
Big
Dan.
Yeah,
So,
I got to get him back on the show. It's been a while.
You know
busy.
what's funny about Dan? I'll never forget. So Dan watched my show for quite some time before I picked up on who he was, right? Because I was still learning. And Dan has become a mentor in my life and a very close friend and somebody that I can confide in. And I love him for it. But I'll never forget when I asked him to come on. He goes, "I love your show." I was like, "I'd love to have you guys be part of the show." He said, and I remember he goes, "You're just not ready yet." Like, I'm not saying no indefinitely. I'm just saying not right now. So I worked and worked and worked to build this show to get him to say yes.
There you go.
And I'll never forget when I asked him, I said, "Will you come on and be a part of the show?" And he's like, "Absolutely. You're ready now. You've proven yourself." So that was like a hurdle, right? Like we all have these little hurdles in here. And this has been so much fun tonight. I mean, we can keep going on, and I think people would continue to watch. Like this is just awesome. The two bald beauties and Kyle has been.
It's always and Kyle. Remember that. It's the Chooches and the Kyle.
Hey, that's making my name for myself right there.
Absolutely. You know what you guys should do is you guys need to take the bit from South Park where Cartman just says the name Kyle.
We can do that. I'll talk to Frank about that.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I think that would be fun.
Maybe I'll do that on the opening, Kyle. Can I do that?
Thanks, Dan. I had you at hello.
There you go.
Love you, brother.
Well, Dan actually lit the match on your ass to get you going to where you are.
Dan was a big because he was the first one that said no that I ever asked, and I've worked hard, and that lit a fire under me to put the content out, to grow the show, to do it. And it sounds weird that you go after one, but it all starts with one. You got to have
it always starts with one. By the way, Dan, you listening? I'll give you a call this week, buddy. I got to for you.
It's in December, though, Dan. Like December. So.
I'll move somebody else. Move Dan in. Don't worry. I know somebody.
So I am looking forward to my next guest shot on Great Cigar and Pipe Show. Hopefully it's this year. Maybe it's next. Who knows?
What was it, November or something?
I was on. I think it was I think it was like November. It was like a week or two before Thanksgiving.
All right, I'll let you know. I'll send you
we'll have our people talk to your
bring
people.
a guest because I need a guest.
Chopped liver. I'll bring Ish.
Oh my God, the show's over now. And that will be the last show. We're signing off.
Yeah, right. Canceled.
There could be something seriously discussed in November with Ish. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, we actually are going to be potentially talking something here soon. I will leave it at that and not tease it anymore. But thank you to everybody that watched the show tonight. This was absolutely incredible. This was just so much fun to just have a shoot the shit show and not have a real agenda or anything. Like this was just fun. This was lounge talk. And I really appreciate everybody coming on and watching and commenting. Thank you so much. Easy now, Ish, he says. Get out of here. I love this man. Like you don't even I'm not even kidding you. Like I can't go in life without
Can you get him to stop smoking cigarettes?
No, he actually smoked. He gets them like 3 years before they're released. So he's actually smoking like the 3 years that aren't even out yet. Like he's just that tied into the tobacco world. But no, in all seriousness, thank you to both of you guys coming on. Thank you to both of you for all the support.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, big man. I'll see you next month.
Absolutely.
By the way, you said a great show. The Ryan Miller Shit Show Cigar Shows. The Ryan Miller Shit Cigar Show.
Absolutely. You know what? YouTube, the censors, I don't think would have liked that as much. But
screw the censors. Don't worry about it. You're somebody in my book. If Dan says it, then I agree with Dan.
But thank you both so much for coming on, and thank you so much to the sponsors that make this show possible. We've got BAMF Cigars. ROCF will fix the second I in the name. Thank you for pointing that out, Ronnie. And Kristoff Cigars, Sagrado Cigars, Micallef Cigars, Pro Family Business, Pro Growth, Pro Cigar Rights. as well as Big Sky, Cornell and Diehl Pipe Tobacco, La Aurora Cigars, West Tampa Tobacco. The show we drink on the show here is the Axe and the Oak. Thank you so much to Steve Saka from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust and Abe DeBabna that named our studio the Smokin' Studios here at the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. Check them out. Go to smokin.com. Best damn cigar of the month club you'll ever be a part of. I promise you, guarantee it. If you don't like it, I'll take the cigars you don't want. So until right, until we see you all again, smoke what you like, smoke as often as you can, and have a great rest of your week. Bye,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.
Good night.
Salud. Ciao.